The FIM Asia Road Racing Championship with Idemitsu comes to Sepang. We are at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit, just a little bit to the south of Kuala Lumpur, the capital city of Malaysia. It is a fine, venerable circuit that's looking in tip-top condition in the glorious sunshine in Southeast Asia. Des Corkill alongside Barry Russell to talk us through 2 days of racing with 5 different categories for us to talk about. We go right the way up to the superbikes, but we'll be starting with the TVS One Make Championship. Barry, firstly, thoughts about that, but also thoughts about the circuit, which is looking absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it absolutely does. The conditions have been perfect yesterday and today. We wondered about the rain because we had a lot of rain in the previous 2 days, on and off. But the weather gods have been smiling on us, thank goodness, so far. Long may that continue. And regarding the TVS Asia One Make Championship, what's been keeping us up at night is wondering just how long that winning run of Hiroki Ono could go. We had that question answered in round 4, race 2 at Mandalika, when Ramdan Rosley broke his grip.
Conditions today, it is sunny, it is blistering, a little bit of breeze out there, which can cause one or two little problems out in the more exposed corners, but as I say, the conditions are absolutely gorgeous. The Sepang International Circuit, well, it's 5.5 kilometers, lots of straights. Where's the danger points?
Well, the danger points, turn 1 is really difficult here because it goes into a really tight complex, and of course, as on many circuits, but none less than this one, the final turn is one really to watch out for. And in this class and other classes, we've seen a lot of spills already in those areas. Turn 4 is another one. Really, there is overtaking, hard braking, smooth flowing circuits, blind summits.
It really is a classic. It's a Herman Tilke design track. Richie Takahara has been in fine form. The young Japanese is, where is he? He's down in 6th in the championship standings, but he's on pole position for today, ahead of Ramdan Rosley, who's the only one who can possibly pick Ono to the title. And the young Indian Sartak Chavan will be on the front row of the grid alongside Mohammad Ramdan Rosley.
Yeah, all those 3 in the 221s. And on row 2, we've got Chirant Vishwanath, who's shaping up really well as another rider. Next to him, Orapong, and Hiroki Ono starts 6th.
In row 3, Rocco Sesla, Muzuki Mohammed, the defending champion, and Ate Kanghe, the young Thai.
And on row 4, we got Dekitiano Aldi, Kim Min-jae, the South Korean rider, and Kawe Ahmed starts from 12th. And at the front, we've got some real quality. We have, of course, got championship leader Hiroki Ono, winner of all but one race in 2024. Behind him, Ramdan Rosley, the rider who broke his winning run, and behind him, the sensational young Indian Sartak Chavan, the number 9. Taking a look, the question is, what can Sartak do?
We sometimes forget about Sartak, don't we? We always mention him, but because he's in P3, most of the time he's had 3 P3s and a P2 this season. We're so focused, or I am anyway, on Ono, who looks at Sartak to say, you just took him behind me. You have a look at the leader here.
Yeah, taking charge, as you might expect, of the imperious Japanese championship leader.
A real veteran, the battle for P1. Ono in 2 at the moment, Hiroki Ono. Mohammad Ramdan Rosley is leading the way. Malaysian knows this circuit like the back of his hand. But as you can see, Muzuki Mohammed out. Rich Takahira out, didn't even start. Irvin Exon crashed. KY Ahmed crashed. Kim Min-jae crashed. Ate Kanghe crashed.
So this is looking like a very thin field indeed. Shout out for Rocco Sesla, who's consolidated himself at the front of the chasing group, not too far behind. Let's do a check on what that gap is this time around.
Ono goes through in P1. Ramdan Rosley and Sartak in 2 and 3. Chirant Vishwanath a little bit behind there. Rocco Sesla in that little group as well. Best time, a 2:22.22 for, that's the best lap time at the moment.
Yep, that's pretty decent. It's a 2.5 off the best we've seen, but good for this point in the race when they're running on full fuel tanks. They'll let him get away. Sorry, Des.
He was gracious in defeat at Mandalika in race number 2, but you could see he didn't like it.
He did have his teeth.
Yes, indeed. Here, he is working hard. Behind them, that is Chirant Vishwanath, bike number 8, Rocco Sesla, the young German. And then Vorapong Malawan, who we've not really mentioned today. He's the leader of this TVS one-make group. By leader, I mean leader of men. He was the initial champion when it first came to us. Let's have a look though at another of the young rising Indian racers, Chirant Vishwanath in P number 4 on bike number 8.
Yeah, talking to some of the Indian racing royalty last week, as I was fortunate enough to do. Chirant is very highly rated in India. But what we've seen in TVS Asia one-make is that Sartak has really brought something exciting to the party. He's up against here 2 really experienced riders.
He's clinging on quite comfortably. He's in the slipstream as they come down the penultimate straight. That's the main feature of this circuit. You've got the long straight followed by the hairpin and into the home straight, and Sartak just comes out of the slipstream. Has a look on the inside of Ramdan Rosley. So many different lines you can take through this final corner, which is the one that was raised by a full meter or so 8 years ago when it was resurfaced. But it's Ono who comes through at the midway point. 3 laps to go. 6-lap race. Ono leads from Ramdan, from Sartak, from Chiranth. And if these 3 stay on the bike, these will be the podium sitters.
Yeah, they're just eking out about a 10th on that lap, the lead over the chasing pack, which is led this time around by Chirant Vishwanath from Morocco and Vorapong.
This is a deceptively hilly part of the circuit where you go up the hill out of 1, 2 and 3. You get it wrong and you can lose a little bit of momentum, but Ono, as always, has got that one right. And look at that. Sartak Chaban has cut inside Ramdan Rosley. It is warm out there. I'm wondering if the heater, the ambient temperature is 32. On the track, it's much, much higher.
Although humidity is quite low. You should know better than I.
For today, yes, we're here.
I've noticed the humidity being much. Hiroki goes for the switch back, but he's not gonna get it. Goes very wide round the outside, looking for advantage. It's such a wide track, the Sepang International Circuit. Hiroki's still looking to control everything and everybody around him from P2.
Technically, he can win the title, but he's unlikely to here at Sepang. His championship lead is 42 points over the man in P2. As Ono retakes the lead, a little bit of a wobble as they come down. There's a north circuit and a south circuit here. They're going past the pits of the smaller north circuit at the moment, and then they come sweeping round this hairpin. And a nice little drag there from Ramdan Rosley, and a different line from Sartak Chaban.
Yeah, this is good from Sartak. Earlier in the season, we'd see him get a little bit of a red mist, and yeah, Des, you've just pointed out that Chirant is closing the gap. Let's have a look as they cross the line this time around. Yeah, he's half the gap from 1.2 seconds to 0.6.
Okay, 1 second between 1 and 4, 0.3 between 1 and 2. Ramdan Rosley, bike number 4, is in P2. You think he needs to get a win just to try and put a little bit of pressure on Hiroki Ono? You always believe that you can produce the results until it goes wrong and the statistics are against you. But then Ono just accelerates away. He's fast on Sector 1, consistently fast on Sector 1, Hiroki Ono.
Yeah, fastest rider that time around was
Chirant Vishwanath.
Yeah, it was Chirant, unsurprisingly, because he did close up that gap. And Vorapong almost as quick.
I can tell you a couple of the casualties. Atir Kangir and KY Ahmed have got up off the bikes. And Muzakir Mohammed has got up off the bike as well. Where is Muzakir? Bike number 1. He wasn't in the track for a long time. No, yep. wasn't being monitored, but Muzakir Mohammed a little bit further back. White helmet. Bike number 1. No, he's not in that group, is he?
But this group is getting bigger at the front. The concertina effect now. Chirant is right up there, just trying to get past Ramdan there, and his comrades there in what was that second group, closing up. So
it's 7 up at the front. Including Muzakir right at the back there. So Muzakir was not being registered. So Takahira out. Irvin KY Ahmed is back on the circuit. Kim Min-jae is out. Ate Kanger is back on the circuit. But we've got a genuine battle now with 1.5 laps to go.
So yeah, Hiroki Ono and Sartak look as though they might be putting a little bit of daylight back to Ramdan. But let's see, this is closing up nicely.
Borapong Malawan not far behind either. He's kind of just bided his time. He's now on the tail end of these 4. Remember, longest circuits here for these bikes. And there's an error.
Down goes Sartak. Oh, and that bike gives him a clobbering.
Sartak.
Ooh.
You can see him, he's just gingerly getting up as we come into the final lap. Ono leads from Ramdan Rosley. Borapong Malawan moves into P3. Sartak, thankfully we're seeing he is moving, he's looking okay, but gosh, this race has taken some casualties.
Yeah, he looked like he got away with it, and then the bike just came back and clobbered him just on the chin. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully there's no concussion or anything like that. But, well, we were asking, can he put the race together well? Do we really want to see this again?
Back end goes away.
Yeah, so it all tangled up with the bike. And there he's a long way from the bike at this point. But then the bike flips around and gosh.
That's scary. In the meantime, Ramdan Rosley is overtaken by Hiroki Ono. Ono is looking for win number 7 out of 8 races. He won 6 in a row last year as well. He's been in phenomenal form since he moved into this class. Borapong Malawan, bike number 3, has suddenly got the bit between the teeth as well.
Yes, he has no podiums this season for Borapong, the 2022 champion. And Rocco Sessler getting on to them as well. This is really good work from the German.
Mazike Mohammed also at the tail end there as they come up the hill. This is 9.
Ooh. Interesting line there from Rocco, that worked out.
He's got himself into P3. Hiroki Ono, though, is still leading the way for somebody who hadn't been here on the TVS Cup Championship. He certainly learned the circuit pretty quickly in qualifying and today. We are coming down to the final couple of corners before the 2 long straights. Ono goes wide. Have a look at that on the inside. Ramdan Rosley pushed him out, and Rocco Sessler is a new race leader, Barry Russell.
Yeah, Rocco judged that beautifully. See how the pattern was opening up, and he's taking it. And now, from this angle, how do we pick the bones out of this? I think Hiroki Ono is in the lead.
And then you've got the angle to take the final corner. Yes, it is Ono, bike number 2, who is there. Sessler comes a long way around the outside. Ono, a little wobble. Sessler chases. Hiroki Ono, though, it's a sprint to the line. Ono, it looks like he's going to take it. Ono from Rocco Sessler in P2. Ramdan Rosley in 3. Vishwanath 4. Borapong in 5. Brilliant from Sessler, but imperious from the Japanese racer Hiroki Ono.
So there we are. None of us were betting against Hiroki Ono after that indifferent free practice day yesterday, and indeed indifferent qualifying today, but he has reassumed what he sees as his right at the front. But massive shout out to the German Rocco Sessler. First time at Sepang, and he rode brilliantly. Read the movements of the riders in front of him, especially on that last lap, really well. Every time somebody made a slight mistake, he was through, and he made it all the way through to second. Hiroki Ono, you can see he's pretty pleased with having got himself back to winning ways. Ramdan, very, very close. There was just look at the gap between the front 5.
3/10.
3/10.
For half a second between 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Terrific stuff.
Yeah.
Mazake Mohammed coming in P6. Apologies if I'd put you off before, but he wasn't registering on the scoring monitor. But this was still an immense carnage in this race. Sartak didn't finish. Atia didn't finish. Kim Min-jae, KY Ahmed, Irvin Eksan all out. Ricky Takehira never even started, even though he was on pole.
Yeah, I'd almost forgotten about Rishi Takehira, but that was just such an awful start for him. But a great start and a great finish for Hiroki Ono. Back to winning ways. He's now won 8 out of 7 this season. I think I'm right.
7 out of 8. Very good. Zesler with his first podium in P2. Ramdan Rosley again on the podium, but close, but no cigar. Chirant Vishwanath, joint best result of the season for him. Borapang Malawam competitive to the end. He timed it very nicely, actually, wasn't far away. Muzakir Mohammed, the defending champion, P6 on his home circuit. Deki Tiano Aldi finishing in 7th. And good result for Casey Edward Lama. Only 22 seconds down, the Filipinos done well. Sartak we saw crash out on the penultimate lap, spectacularly. Rich Takahira did in fact get out onto the circuit, but finished 6 laps down, and that was a traditional. Atir out, Kim Min Jae out, KY Ahmed out, Irvin Exon out. But Hiroki Ono takes it. Lots to talk about.
Well, we hope first of all that everybody is okay, because Ati Kangere got launched right up into the air and went flying over the high side of his Apache RR310. And Sartak Chavan, we even saw a replay of that, but that was a nasty knock that he took after landing. And mono-wheeling his way around his slowing down victory lap is the number 2, Hiroki Ono. So that's particularly good recovery, not just after finishing 2nd in race 2 in Mandalika, but after being down the order and qualifying in 6th just a few hours ago this morning.
Look at that, Rocco Seslet, he is thrilled to bits, and his engineers are there as well. He's worked very hard. He's been in the leading group on several occasions so far this season. For him to actually get onto the podium is great news for the German teenager, who was highly rated. We were looking forward to seeing him. We were expecting, if I'm honest, a little bit more of this earlier on in the season.
Yeah, he said on the press conference on Thursday, he was also expecting more of himself, but these have been his first trips to Asia. And he steps across to congratulate Hiroki Ono, the only rider to finish in front of him today. Still question marks over Sartak Chavan's durability over the course of a race.
Yeah, you mentioned that a few times, as well as the Dunlop guys offer their congratulations.
Yeah, you can see the Illuminati from Japan. That's Makoto Tamada congratulating him, Wichi Wee congratulating him, some of the all-time greats of Japanese motorcycle racing.
I can tell you in the championship standings, Hiroki Ono moves over 50 points clear of Ramdan Rosley. And Ramdan himself is 62 points clear of Sartak. You're quite right, though, with Sartak. He's the one we ought to be worried about. That was a scary moment when the bike came back and hit him. Hopefully just a glancing blow. But while he's suffering, Rocco Sesler is absolutely loving this moment in the spotlight.
Yeah. Just gets warm congratulations there from Sal Khan from Dunlop.
So Hiroki, congratulations on a fantastic win. It was a difficult weekend for you this time round, but in the race, once again, Hiroki Ono, dominant.
Yeah, very, very difficult this weekend for me. Still feeling bad, but the race is race, different situation. I focus to race, I make a race distance, and just I keep the concentration. Then my strong heart, this is this victory thanks for the TVS and my Japanese sponsor.
Thank you so much, Hiroki. Big congratulations and good luck tomorrow.
Best of the highlights from the TVS Asia one-make race number 1 at Sepang, round 5 of 6 of the Idemitsu Asia Road Racing Championship. The pole sitter, Rich Takahira, didn't make it. A couple of racers, Irvin Exon and Kim Min Jae, didn't make it past the first corner. Carnage in the opening lap, Barry Russell.
Yeah, we thought that was a bad enough start, but it would get worse, unfortunately. So the field really thinned out by the time we'd got 2 laps around.
Up at the far end, that was bike number 6, KY Ahmed, coming a cropper.
And there goes Ati Kangere, high-siding out of turn 15.
A couple of people went on turn 15. Ati Kangere was one, and later on we'll see Sartak Chavan as well. Sartak was really competing, though, for a race win in a 3-way battle, it looked like, between Ramdan Rosley and Hiroki Ono. But then, slowly but surely, the pack behind them started to close in, Barry.
Yeah, this was a really good pack before this race because it was Chiran and Rocco in particular, chased by Vorapong, who looked as though they were in the second group, but Chiran led them up to the front. Did a really good job.
Musaque Mohammed was making his way through, as was Vorapong Malawan, the bike number 3. 2 laps to go here. Little look over the shoulder from Randan Rosley. Sartak is still there. In fact, Sartak, bike number 9, goes into the lead, and then this happens.
Just came round and clattered him once on the leg, and then yeah, the rear wheel came round and just caught his neck.
Then we come on to the final lap. Hiroki Ono had made a great run. Rocco Sessler had joined the leading group by this stage. The young German tries to get a slipstream pull to the finish line. Can't get there. It's Ono who wins his 7th in 8 in this season. Rocco Sessler thrilled to bits with his P2, but Ono back on the winning trail, and that's exactly how he likes it.
There is absolute delight, and he did most of his slowing down lap on the back wheel. Here's the podium.
Podium right next door to our facility here, and Ramdan Rosley, another 3rd place. He's been on the podium in all bar 1 races so far this season, but a debut on the podium for a still beaming Rocco Sessler.
Yep, the 15-year-old German. You can see the height difference there. He told me a couple of days ago he's 180 centimeters now, and indeed Hiroki Ono needs the whole of that top step differential to match his height.
Let's have the national anthem of Japan to pay tribute to Hiroki Ono. Familiar national anthem played throughout his career. He's had a very, very successful career. He'll hope it's not coming to the tail end of it, but into his 30s now. B. Selvaraj, the general manager of TVS Racing. It's been a good addition. This is the 3rd season of the TVS One Make Series. Been a good addition to the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. It's always the aperitif to the races that come forward, but it's a tasty aperitif for Rocco Sessler. Oh no, well, he's gorged.
Yeah, he certainly is. And let's see how this boosts the ongoing performance of Rocco Sessler for the remainder of the season.
Well, thanks to Idemitsu, who have consistently supported the Asia Road Racing Championship Series. And there is a happy photo, and Rocco, I keep looking at him. That grin has not left him, and I don't think it will tonight. It just, when he gets his racing head on again tomorrow, he might get a little bit serious, but a very, very happy German teenager there. Celebratory shot, you're quite right about his height. That could be considered as an impediment to him. Not to Hiroki Ono, as we confirm the championship standings, which see Ono top on 195 points, 51 clear of Ramdan Rosley. Sartak Chavan, despite coming off on the penultimate lap on 82 points, joint between Vorapong and Deki Tiano. The youngster would love to get the better of Vorapong on 73. Chirant Vishwanath, good result for him today on 72. Rocco Sessler moves up to 65 points, and Rich Takahira, we hope to find out what happened to his bike before tomorrow's race. He's in 8th place on 62 points.
Idemitsu IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with super bike-proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra-protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. Idemitsu IRG5.
It's a good, clean start. Up at the front, Akid Aziz is just trailing in the wake of Faris Putra. Very much their own. Oh, there's the teacher right behind him. There's 127, Ricky Ibrahim. Gosh, it's chaotic, isn't it, as they weave their way 2 and 3 abreast.
Oh, and there's an engine gone there.
It is
Yeah,
indeed
it's
Murabel
Murabel.
Bitoni, more problems. Oh, we've got our first collision. 1, 2, 3 go out. That's the... Akid has a look on the outside. Has he timed this to perfection? It is corner number 16. Akid goes on the inside. Akid Aziz, is he able to hold on? Malaysian Akid Aziz, who is in the form of his life, but he's gone a little bit wide. It's a race to the line. Akid will not get there. P2 for Akid. Fahmi Bassam is the man who edges it. It's a second win of the season for Fahmi Bassam and gets off to a good start. Faris Putra, he takes Akid with him. That is a very, very strong start from 33. Fadil was in the lead and now he's in P5. Yeah. That's Masato Fernando right at the very back, a former Filipino champion. Got a private team which has got him back in the ARRC.
Aldiaz Axel making his presence felt as well.
Oh, is that Giancarlo?
No, I think that was Alif Daniel.
Okay. Around the TVS corner.
Ricky Ibrahim trying to make a break. Sorry, Des.
Yeah, Ibrahim, I was going to say exactly those words. Ibrahim slides out. That's 69. Akid comes around the outside. It's going to be a long way round. 2 are taken out. After all of that, 143, Husni Zainal is possibly able to hold on, and it's about to finish on the line. Akid Aziz. What a result and what a performance for Akid Aziz. Sensational racing it was at Mandalika. You forget how good the races were because they come at you thick and fast, but 2 thunderous finishes. This Underbone 150cc, it does this week after week, race after race, Barry Russell.
Yeah, and Husni came in at Mandalika as a wild card, and he bagged, I think it was a P6, but definitely a P2 in race 2. And Akid Aziz, P2 race 1, P1 race 2. Phenomenal. And he won the previous race at Motegi race
Indeed.
2.
Indeed, he did. Akid Aziz is on P2 at the moment in the overall championship standing. The defending champion in this is Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin. Murabil Vitoni we saw go out in race number 1. He's up in the championship standings as well, and he's in pole position. So there's an awful lot of good racers. Underbones, the 150cc's, they might struggle on this circuit a little bit because it's so up and down.
Yeah, there are sections on those elevations that you said earlier, Des, are quite deceptively steep. They have to drag themselves up there, a lot of slipstreaming down those 2 big straights, but sensational racing. And that run-in from the final turn to the finish line always produces some surprises.
Okay, let's go and get some pre-race thoughts. Daniel Bogas is down on the grid, and I think he's talking to pole sitter Murabil Vitoni.
On the grid for the Underbone 150s race 1. Now, just about a minute ago, it was properly sunny and hot, but the clouds have arrived. So the concern is maybe it's going to rain later, but that's not the situation now. The situation is a dry race, and on pole is a very fast Murabil Vitoni. So Murabil, you're starting from pole for this race. What's your expectation for this coming race?
Ya, untuk race kali ini, race 1 ini, saya akan berusaha semaksimal mungkin dan bisa memberi yang terbaik buat tim, karena tadi Superpool saya udah mencoba yang lebih baik, dan semoga di race ini saya bisa menjadi yang terbaik.
So the quick translation is he's going to give max effort. He's already done the best result in qualifying, and he's going to do the best for the team, and hopefully in this one, same result. Good luck, Murabil. And now we're going to go to row 2 to the defending champion, although the title defense becomes a lot harder after his injury in Mandalika. So we're going to have a quick chat with Nazrul Izzat. So Nazrul, you're back from an injury, a dislocated wrist and the fractured collarbone. How are you feeling now?
Sekarang saya still rasa tidak berapa peratus yang baik, dan saya akan cuba untuk fight pergi hadapan, dan saya harap saya akan menaiki podium.
Are you still riding in pain?
Still, because only 50% recovery.
Right, excellent. So the earlier translation was he's going to still not 100%, but he's going to try to do the best you can in this race. So thank you so much, Nazrul. Good luck for this race. And now we're going to head down a couple more rows. We're going to go talk to one of the Honda riders. And it's he's riding for the home team SK Honda Racing Team. It's Rekat Yusuf. And we're just going to try and squeeze our way before everyone has to run off from the grid. So, Rekat, it's a home race for the team. And it's not been too bad of a qualifying either. How are you feeling for this race?
I feel confident because I feel good in my setup bike, so I will do best for home race my team.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good luck for this race. Back to you, Des Barry.
Thanks very much, Daniel. Slimline Daniel, got to be said. He's getting fit to get back racing again, I understand, but working him hard down on the grid. Interesting there that Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin, only half fit, reckons he's racing at 50%.
That's the key point. He was quick enough in free practice and qualifying, but over race distance and in the heat of battle, how will his injuries affect him? We have to wonder. Akid Aziz, what are you saying? 2 wins and a second in the last 3 starts.
And a 25-point lead in the overall championship standings. Husni Zainal Fauzi in P3. Husni, as you said, really came to our attention. It's his 3rd appearance, but he got a P2 at Mandalika, Husni, for Yamaha LFN team.
Yeah.
And although he's low down in the standings, he could be a real shaker-upper of things.
Yeah, he could definitely be a spoiler. Sensational lineup for LFN. Murabil as well. And Fahmi Bassam, of course.
They have been very, very competitive. Here is Fahmi Bassam. You mentioned him. He got 1 win last time, thrillingly, in race number 1. Didn't fare so well in race number 2, got caught a little bit down, but 4th on the grid at the moment. Fahmi 3rd in the championship standings, 29 points. And then our championship leader, Nazrul Izzat, will just sweep past him as if we don't care about him. We do. On to Faraz Putra Fadil for Cardinals Racing Team.
Yeah, super quick. No results that really reflect his potential yet. He did snatch a podium last weekend in the Yamaha Blue Crew Championship. I called that out for him. He achieved it, so he wants another one, he tells me, this time around. There's one of the exciting wildcards that have come in this weekend. Number 81 of Adiputra Sukarno.
Uma Racing. Alongside him, you've got Wayu Aji Trilaksana. Wayu Aji, not a million miles away, 47 points. So he's good enough to put together a couple of wins or a couple of high finishes to give him a self of at least a top 3 position in the standings when we come to Buriram in at the start of December.
Yeah, and Idil Fitri Mahadi, another highly rated rider, riding for the storied YY Pang team. To give it its full name, Jetron Yamaha YY Pang Racing Team. Great to see them on the grid again.
So they were the first 3 rows of the grid. Gupita Krishna is 1 row down. We mentioned Rekat Yusuf and his home Grand Prix. Ahmed Fazrul Sham, he's on the 5th row. Ahmed Afif Amram, teammate of Akid Aziz, he's also on the 5th row. There's some good racers that the Filipinos haven't really got to grips here. Giancarlo Maurizio, he's in P16. John Emerson Angito further down as well. Masato Fernando. Filipinos haven't really waged that well. As we have a little look at Gupita Krishna before the cameras are kicked off the grid.
Yeah, he's looking mean and he's always up for the fight, Gupita Krishna. 2 times champion, let's not forget.
Well, the sun is out. Daniel must have caught a rare cloudy moment, although you can see in the background the clouds are thickening just a little bit, but they're still a nice fluffy white. As the buzzer goes, and we have got the 1-minute call and the rumble of the engines as they start. We've got 23 starters, well 22. Cheryl Shazras, I think, is an absentee.
Yeah,
from
possibly
23.
Injured. Yeah. We thought he was going to bring us some more excitement, as he did in round 2, which was at Sepang last year, but it hasn't been to be. And these are some of the best conditions I've ever seen at Sepang, Des.
Cardinals racing team looking nice and relaxed. It's not quite a day out in the sun, but I know what you mean. Serious work going on in the pits. It will be a 6-lap race. Round 5 of 6 of the FIM Asian Road Racing Championships. Murabul Batoni for Yamaha LFN on pole position. Akid Aziz for Pitspike One-Way JRT Tech, championship leader in P2. Husni Zainal Fauzi, Yamaha LFN in P3.
And the 3rd of the Yamaha LFN bikes is in P4. Fahmi Bassam next to him, defending champion Nazrul Izzat, and Faris Putra for Cardinals Factory Racing outside of him.
Moving on to the 3rd row, and I can tell you Adiputra Sukarno for Uma Racing Philippines. Malaysian is in P7. Wayu Aji Trilaksana Race Tech 60 in the lime green. He'll be easy to spot alongside Idil Fitri Mahadi for the YY Pang Racing Team.
And row 4, lots of quality. Gupita Krishna in P10. Next to him, Shafiq Rosli for Uma Racing, Yamaha Majimoto Asia, and Reika Yusuf Fadila for SCK outside of him.
If you've got Ahmed Fazrul Sham in P13, you've got a high-quality field. Cardinals Factory Racing there. Ahmed Afif Amran, another strong Malaysian for Pitspike in 14. Pitaponglu Boypeng, team 1 fall, a bit lower down the standings than he'd like to be in P15.
And on row 6, led by Giancarlo Maurizio for Uma Racing Philippines. Iqbal Amri starts 17th, and way down in 18th by his standards, Aditya Fauzi, 2nd in the championship.
Wow, Aditya Fauzi, that's very rare for him not to have a good qualification. Hafiz Farrell for SCK Honda Racing, the Indonesian in P19. John Espanokito for Evo Yamaha in P20 on the Yamaha. Dimas Juli Atmoko, who's not had the season we expected in P21 for Team One for All.
Yeah, and on row 8, Masato Fernando, another rider that's had a disappointing start to the season. And Cheryl Shazras, I think, not starting.
We'll see. I didn't see them go past from our fine position in the commentary position, overlooking the start-finish line. There's the undulations. It always takes me by surprise every time I come to Sepang that how much climbing and coming down hills you have to do on this circuit. You always think that it's all about the last 2 long straights, but there's a lot more to this circuit than that.
Yeah, there's something for everyone here. the 2023 Superbike champion, Marcus Reiterberger, loved this circuit. He said it was his favourite out of all of them.
He did win both races here. It always helps when you win, doesn't it? But I know what you mean.
Yeah, he visited for endurance as well. But yeah, absolutely.
Aditya Fauzi, the real surprise in the lime green. The good thing, if it is a good thing in Underbone 150cc, how you qualify tends not to really have a huge significance. It just gives an indication of where the bike is, where you're doing, what kind of form you're in. But when it comes to the race, there's so much coming together of the bikes that being down in P18 isn't necessarily the disadvantage that it might seem.
Yeah, there is a bit of a mystery about his form. Yesterday, he was way down the order, Aditya Fauzi. In qualifying, as we've seen, he was way down. So something appears not to have been quite right. Let's see if he can bring it back together now.
There's Nazrul Izzat in P5. Again, proving that motorbike racers are indeed certifiable. Racing only 50% after that horror injury that he picked up in Mandalika, but the love of racing is there.
Yep, and the drive to retain the championship.
6 laps. Akid Aziz is the championship leader, the man in old gold and black for the Pittsbike racing team in the middle of your screen. There is our drone shot. There is the defending champion who knows he must get some points on the board here. They must close that gap on Akid Aziz. You don't want to be 20 points down or so going into the final races of the season. Red lights are off. We are underway. Akid gets off to a very nice start right in the middle there. He's surrounded though by Indonesians. Muralvil Vitoni does well. Fahmi Bassam is quick off the line. And indeed Akid Aziz loses P1 very, very quickly, as you'd expect. Great start also from Nazrul Izzat and Wayuaji Chilaksana.
Yeah, Nazrul did get away really well. He's dropped down, got muscled back a little bit. There's no point in scrapping this early in the race on turn 1, which is such a treacherous turn to get around.
Everybody, it seems, though, has got round it as they come down the hill and sweep into this right-hander. Akid Aziz in the gold has got himself back into a reasonable position. Gold with the pink helmet. He's got himself into P1, but it's Muralvil Vitoni, bike 157, who leads the way. Muralvil had engine problems in race 1 in Mandalika. That cost him, he was leading as well at the time. You'll be hoping that this time mechanical problems aren't a problem for him.
Yeah, he's quick. We know he can put the race results together now. He's leading this race from the form rider. Oh, down he goes, Muralvil.
Muralvil Vitoni, gosh.
So
back-to-back times in race number 1. And Muralvil sits in the gravel, looks very, very unhappy. Hopefully he's not injured and that's just a disappointed sit down. And in the meantime, Wayuaji Chilaksana takes the way.
yeah, I think that was a what just happened kind of look there from Muralvil. Hopefully he's okay physically.
Nazrul Izzat up into P2. As we have a look at Muralvil, just loses it.
Yeah, just the front washed out. Slid away, just his error, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a clock from the bike, so he will be feeling a bit bruised and stiff tomorrow.
Akid Aziz, unperturbed by that. He goes on into P3, so the LFN team lose one of their star trio. And Muralvil was looking very, very good. Perhaps too relaxed. That might have been the issue going into that corner. That was why the incident took place. Now then, Aditya Fauzi has got into that leading group, the lime green. We said being in P18 isn't necessarily a disadvantage, and Aditya has worked his way right the way up to come into P2, coming into the final corner at the end of lap number 1.
Yep, so Aditya Fauzi finding the form that appeared, well, it has been missing so far this weekend. And there he is, he's going to cross the line first this time around.
From 18 to first, Faris Putra of Malaysia in second, Rekat Yusuf also home racer, and Nazrul Izzat there, and Adi Putra Sakano, Wayuaji Chilaksana, Idil Fitri in 7, Akid Aziz down in P8. That's what Underbone does to you. You've just got to make sure, we say this race after race, but stay out of danger, put yourself in a position where you can challenge coming into the final, well, here at Sepang, into the final lap.
Yeah, and it looks as though Nazrul trying to keep himself safe. He can't afford another clashery. He just forced that kid to ease off. He chopped in front of him, but he's been at the front, Nazrul, pretty much all the way through.
Ahmed
Akid,
Afif, yeah,
Akid and Afif.
Ahmed Afif Amram, they know this circuit very, very well. They race it many times on Cup 3 on the full circuit, so it's a Malaysia 1, 2, 3. Wilma Racing, followed by Pitspike, and then Race Tech coming in for the Indonesians, Aditya. So just stay out of trouble. I think that's the key, Barriera.
That's definitely the key when you're carrying an injury like Nazrul. He's doing a really clever job here to Race Tech 60 machines, right up there. To Cardinals, not far off as well.
Little look over the shoulder there from Ahmed Afif Amram, bike number 50. Nazrul is at lead. 60 is Wayu Aju Trilaksana. Aditya Fauzi looks like he's just tracking his more experienced teammate. Two-lime green, so easy to pick up.
I'm not sure how much experience Aditya Fauzi has had at Sepang. Probably not that much.
That could explain the problems, because it is a different circuit to any that we have on the ARRC calendar. The undulations, the length, for one thing, 5.5 kilometers. It's a longish circuit.
That's Shafiq Rosley up there as well, close to the front. Nazrul trying to keep himself, I think, out of the middle of that pack where there's more danger.
One thing, once you come into the final lap, you don't want to be leading coming down this penultimate straight. You want to get a bit of a drag, you want to get a bit of slipstream, and then select your way through. Look at the variety of lines that you can take. As we have a look from the drone shot coming down onto the home straight, and that is very, very, very tight indeed. Nazrul Izzat will actually have the lead. He'll look back at Ahmed Afif Amram, Shafiq Rosley, Aditya Fauzi and Husni Zainal Fauzi. What are we? Have got less than 1 second separating one from 13. Ha.
Yeah, so that's pretty normal for Underbones. Not quite at half distance yet.
Murabil Vitoni, the significant casualty. Giancarlo Mauricio, the only one who's being left a little bit adrift. But of the others, any one of the 21, from 1 to 21, has got a chance. Less than 2 seconds separating them.
Just looking at the timing screen there, Fahmi Bassam pretty much at the back of that group.
But again, you're close enough for it not to really matter at the moment. Just stay out and just look after your tyres. Not that it's a significant disadvantage, but you never know. Every little bit of grip, every little morsel can help.
And that is Fazrul Sham, who's
always
hounding the leader.
Always. Every race, the Cardinals racing Ahmed Fazrul Sham will come through and have a little pop-up P1.
There he is. He likes the front. He has a little peep at it every single time. Can he get on the podium today is another question. Looking good at the moment. His teammate slipped right down the order. There he is, just going through there now, Faris Putra.
81 leading the way, Adi Putra Sukarno. 61, Charles Shazras also in the mix there. And a little bit of a gap in for Underbone standards. Shafiq Rosley with the fastest lap time at the moment, also fastest through sector 2. And a full second full tenth of a second faster than, actually no, a full second faster than Ahmed Afif Amram.
Yeah, good to see Charles Shazras again underscoring the point that if you don't come through in qualifying, you can still get into the leading group. So it'd be good to see him bag a good result. Oh,
81.
That is Adi.
Adi Putra Sukarno, Uma Racing. That looks just like a straight bike failure.
Unfortunate, he's been looking good all the way through this weekend, up until that point.
Okay, we are at midpoint of the race. Husni Zainul Falzi is the man who doesn't have the lead going over the start-finish line. Just did, actually. Charles Sajras, Ahmed Fazrul Sham, Aditya Fauzi in 4, Fahmi Bassam, Pirapong, Dimas Julian Moko and Nazrul Izzat, John Emerson and Gito and Gopita Krishna complete the top 10. Akid drops out the top 10.
Yeah, Charles Shazras into the lead there as they went through turn 1. So the wild card that we've all been holding high expectations of hits the front for the first time.
Bike number 61, Charles Shazras. Had a DNS in terms of qualification, but got on the starting grid. We weren't sure whether he would be there, but indeed he is. And there he is, actually leading the way. He's got Aditya Fauzi for company in the lime green. Just behind him, Nazrul Izzat, so he's in some pretty good company. And there's your championship leader, Akid Aziz. 25 points to championship lead. Do you stick? Do you twist? Do you go cautious? Do you look to carry on your top form of a win and a second in your 2 wins and second in your last 3 races?
It's a hard one to call, isn't it? And what's in the mind of Akid Aziz, we don't really know, but I would expect him to be going for another podium at least.
Would certainly strengthen his position. Aditya Fauzi is 25 points adrift. Aditya is there by 177.
Nazrul continues to keep himself at or near the front. He's just moved ahead of Sharol.
He doesn't look incapacitated, Nazrul, is that, does he? He was saying he's 50%, and I have no reason to doubt him, but if that's 50%, no wonder he's the defending champion.
Yeah, he's got a good doctor. Fahmi Bassam up with them as well.
Like 222. So we are beyond the halfway point. 222 takes the lead for the first time. Fahmi Bassam. A little bit further down, there is our focus on Akid Aziz, the old gold and black of the Pittsbike team. 25 points seems a big lead, but it can disappear very, very quickly.
Well, it's easy to DNF in Underbones, and it is just a race win.
As they come into the hairpin turn 15 for the 4th time. Akid takes a nice wide berth. Just make sure he's in that little group at the front. Then it gets very, very tight and congested. As they go down the start-finish line, they come over. Husni Zainal leads for the 2nd straight lap. Dimas Juli. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Indonesia. Aditya Fauzi in 4, Nazrul Izzat in P5. It gets very, very tight by the at the start-finish line. Gets very congested.
Yeah, Akid Aziz right at the back of that group. He crossed the line 16th.
But only 1 second off the pace.
Only 1 second off, and we've seen him come from the back of the group to win before now.
2 laps to go. Best part of 10 kilometers still to race. Plenty of time for plenty of things to happen. We've had a couple of casualties. Murabo Vitoni, most notably the pole sitter. And the man who's in 5th place in the championship standings. That will possibly end his championship hopes for Murrayville. Eventually 75 points to race for after this race, starting tomorrow.
Cheryl Shazras likes it at the front here. Got Nazrul behind him, who's continued to keep himself out of the middle of that pack. Protect himself physically from the risk of any more clattering. Aditya Fauzi has recovered after a very indifferent weekend up until this point to stick himself at the front. And we can just see on the right there the other lime green Race Tech 60 machine of his team owner and teammate Wayuaji Trilaksana, who gets himself shuffled right back as well as they come through that turn.
And they come up the hill. Still beautifully positioned. I'm really impressed, always have been. Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin. He always just seems to be in the right place at the right time. Bike number 1. Pirapong Luboinpeng for Team 1 for All beginning to make a little bit of an impact as well. Pirapong bike number 14, just in the little group there. P6, alongside the championship leader Akid Aziz. There is Ahmed Afif Amran.
Yeah, and really good wildcards in there, not only Cheryl Shazras, Idil, Fitri Mahadi in there.
Pittsbike team, they know this circuit very, very well in the domestic championships. Both Ahmadafi Famram and Akid Aziz had wins, but admittedly only on the half the circuit. But they know this circuit so well, and Ahmadafi Famram is in P3 at the moment. Akid Aziz takes the lead coming into the final lap. Right then, have they timed this to perfection?
Akid Aziz has literally gone from back of the group in 16th to 1st as they started the final lap.
And then goes back again to 10th or so. That's how quick it is. Right, this is going to be a congested final 5.5 kilometers. It's all, I think, what position you can get on the penultimate straight. Akid Aziz kind of timed that one very nicely. It's the Racetech 60 guys, though, in P2 and 3, who are looking very interested. Aditya Fauzi, he would love the win because he's in championship contention. Charles Chazras is the wild card. He's the spoiler in the pack.
And he looks as though he believes he can win it. I'm just looking for that big number 1. No, there he is in P4, just behind the 2 Racetech 60 green machines.
Charles Chazras leads. Then Aditya Fauzi comes through. He makes a move. That's an aggressive move. Undercutting Charles Chazras. Nazrul Izzat, he follows as well. Wayuaji Chilaksana, bike number 60 in P3, followed by the defending champion. Akid Aziz isn't far behind there. This is going to be a genuine chase. Underbone is thrilling at the best of times. This promises to be as good as anything we've seen.
Yeah, the LFNs are in there of Hazmi and Fahmi. Oh.
Somebody forced out the way. That can hurt you just a little bit. It was bike 60, Wayuaji Chilaksana, who did the forcing wide. You've got to get in position. It's Wayuaji who leads. Aditya Fauzi in P3. Charles Chazras, the local wildcard in P2. Behind them, Pitts bike in P5. Is it Ahmadafi Famram or is it Akid Aziz?
No, it's Aditya Fauzi coming through at the front of that group.
Okay, 2 sprints for home. Akid was leading coming into this final lap, but he's in a group way at the back. Aditya Fauzi in the lime green. They're all hugging the grandstand side. Then Charles Chazras comes through. 2-2-2. Fahmi Bassam has a little look as well. Right then,
goes
it's
one
one
of the
Pitts
bike
bike guys are down. Coming in,
and
more carnage at the far side. 2-2-2 is going to take it. 2-2-2, Fahmi Bassam is going to take the victory. Fahmi Bassam holds on for the victory from Bakita. Pitapong.
Just got on our TV. It was Fahmi Bassam. Mate.
Ahmadafi Famram means for Akid Aziz. The old gold and black, they had the real problems, and then we come through onto the finish line. It's so tight. 200ths of a second between Fahmi Bassam and Gupita Krishna. That's how tight it is. That's the photo finish. It's less than 1/10 of a second between 1 and 4. Right the way down, less than a second, 8/10 between 1 and 9. Oh. Incident at the last turn is under investigation, but it looked like racing incidents by Russell.
Yeah, my only question is, it says incident, singular, at last turn. In fact, there was, I think, 2 distinct incidents that we will probably be seeing again when we run the highlights reel.
As they come into the Parc Fermé, 1 or 2 people having a little look back on the local channels, because you can replay things on the local channel here. Not sure if I'm allowed to name them. Astra on the go.
Yeah, 4S1M, the team gather around Parc Fermé to celebrate Gupita Krishna getting yet another podium.
But Fahmi Bassam, what a performance for him. It really brings him back into the championship standings. He'll be just 4 points adrift of Akid Aziz.
Yeah, it was
and he is the real winner of this one.
Yeah, no points for Akid Aziz.
Gupita comes right back into reckoning as well. I tell you what, this competition, it never fails to thrill. Fahmi Bassam wins the 6th lap race, 200ths clear of Gupita Krishna. Charles Shazras just 1/10 down. 9,000 down is Husni Zainal in P4. Pitaponglu Boinpeng does really well for Team One for All alongside Dimas Juliat Moko. They sneaked up into 5 and 6. Giancarlo Maurizio for Uma Racing Yamaha Philippines in 7. Masato Fernando, G-Ren Kobe Motor Oil Racing. I believe that's Masato's best result of the season. Philippines filling 7, 8 and 9 with John Emerson and Gito for Evo Yamaha Racing. Cardinals Factories Faris Putra in 10. Idil Fitri 11. SEK Honda Racing's Rekat Yusuf in 12. Nazrul Izzat picks up 3 points. You never know. It could be important in P13. Ahmed Fazrul Sham once in the lead, down to P14. And Hafiz Farrell Rashadin for SEK Honda Racing in 15. Out of the points, Barry Russell. The person who was in P2, Aditya Fauzi. The championship leader, Akid Aziz. His teammate, Afif Amram. Shafi Grosley, who is in P7. Wayu Ajichilaksana, who was also in with a chance in P8 in the championship. Iqbal Amri and Adiputra also there, but many of the top contenders out of the points. 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, as was Murabul Vitoni, the pole sitter. Absolute carnage. Wonderful stuff. Let's go down, I think, in just a moment, where we can hopefully find out some post-race reaction. Daniel Bokers is down in the Parc Fermé.
Fahmi, as always, a big fight on Underbones, but a fantastic result for you and for the team. How was the race?
Ya, race tadi, saya pertama-tama ingin mengucapkan kepada Bos Putra dan Ibu Liana selalu mensupport saya dan keluarga di rumah, apalagi istri saya selalu mendoakan Ibu, Bapak. Perjalanan race tadi, saya kehilangan rem belakang saya di awal-awal lap dan saya tidak menggunakan rem. Tapi inilah yang namanya rezeki.
So Fahmi just said big thank you to the boss, big thank you to the family and everyone supporting him. And he planned his race well, and at the end, the luck came towards him. Congratulations.
A dramatic Underbone 150cc race number 1 of 2 here in Malaysia at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Akid Aziz in the old gold is the championship leader, got off to a steady old start and looked like he was on good position to pick up a couple of points. Nazrul Izzat Bahudin, his fellow Malaysian, riding with injury, also looking to pick up points. As always by Russell, you were hoping that your engine holds out. Murabul Vitoni, though, made a mistake.
Yeah, this time it was rider error for Murabul. It was an engine failure that put him out the last time around. Nazrul Izzat rode a very clever race earlier on at least, keeping himself clear of trouble. Only 50% recovered from those injuries that kept him out of race 4, and which cost him real championship lead. But we were saying mid-race, Des, that 25 points is just race win, and you can easily lose 25 points, lose the race lead during the course of an Underbone race.
No matter how conservative you are, Akid Aziz, bike number 13. We were keeping an eye on him. We're also impressed with the race of Charles Chazras, bike number 61. Nazrul Izzat was there. Aditya Fauzi, 177, second in the championship standings in the green. We thought, okay, he needs a good result, and the contenders were all up at the top for much of this race. What would happen though on the final corner by Russell? Not this one, the next time they go around, what would happen will cause mayhem to the championship standings.
Yeah, completely blew it wide open. So crossing the line was Akid Aziz, came through to lead them on to the final lap with his teammate, a FIM rank coming alongside as well, and Charles Chazras, who had started from the very back after not qualifying.
Then this is where it all goes very pear-shaped. Akid goes down. Ahmed Afi Framran is forced away. Also going down was Aditya Fauzi. Fahmi Bassam would be able to hold on just despite the fast onrushing Gupita Krishna Wardena. And so it'll be victory for Fahmi Bassam, and it will move him into second place in the championship standings. The race result is under scrutiny, but a third win of the season for Fahmi Bassam.
So it looked on that replay, Des, as though it was Akid Aziz who was the first man to go down in the braking zone for turn 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now
Here we are with the podium presentation coming.
Race 1.
It's always the calm after the storm, isn't it? The podium where everybody is relaxed. They've got the adrenaline out of their system. Charles Chazras. Yeah, the Honda Estrella UZ Racing rider. He's happy with P3. I think that's fair to say.
I think that's very fair to say.
Equally happy is Gupita Krishna. Veteran now, but he still looks after himself so well. But the man who really has catapulted into championship contention, Fahmi Bassam, with his third win of the season, the Yamaha LFN HB 969 Indonesia Racing Team. And he will celebrate after the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Indonesia.
Indonesia 1 and 2 and 4 and 6. It's a really, really good day on the podium for them. Stefan Maki Karapier, the FIM Asia president, will be handing out the award to the team. You think he's happy, Barry?
Yeah, he does look happy. He was full of vim and vigor on Thursday when we spoke to him.
UZ Racing, very much a part of the Malaysian domestic bike scene. And it's great to see he's replicating his team owner. But for Indonesia, I tell you what, for Fahmi Bassam, it's 2 wins in the last 3 races. You talk about form. When he had a DNF in Motegi, he thought perhaps his championship opportunity had gone. Kentaro Kobayashi Sumitomo Rubber Industries Limited, otherwise known as Dunlop, hands out the Best Team Award to the LFN racing team. And the Idemitsu girls had a little bit of glamour and a little bit of colour. Fahmi Bassam, Yamaha, LFN, Indonesian racing team. They had 3 of the top 4 on the grid, and they've got the man at the top of the pile at the end. What does this mean to the championship standings? Well, I can tell you it's really, really made it fascinating. It's closed it right down. Akid Aziz still holds on to his championship lead, but the grip is a fingernail, as we suggested in the commentary. Akid Aziz, 108 points, 0 today. Fahmi Bassam, 104. Only 25 behind now. Aditya Fauzi, Nazrul Izzat, only 28 behind. Gupita Krishna, P2 today, 32 behind. There's 75 points to race for. Mulbil Vitoni, gosh, 2 din-off finishes in his last 3 races. That's going to really hurt him. Otherwise, he would have been a contender. Giancarlo Maurizio and Wayu Ajitrilaksana round out the top 8, 51 and 47 points respectively. Okay, so a calmness of the blowing trees, and we get ready for the next event, which is the AP 250s coming up. That's after a very short break on the FIM Asia Road Racing Championships from the Petronas Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time.
Idemitsu IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with super bike-proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra-protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. Idemitsu IRG5.
We are underway, and it looks to be a clean start for everybody. Sumachia, no, it's a Tonampu. We've got a new race leader.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's Arai Agaska who is leading the way from Galang Hendra. Just a case of improving, as there's near contact there. Evasive action was required.
Cal Vietnam.
Oh, 42 goes out.
In AP 250s. Yeah, that all on his own.
Herjan down in P10, Kiandra down in P11. They are 2 and 1 respectively in the championship standing. Van Heikel is still there. Cal Vietnam not too far behind either. Cal Vietnam, Yamaha.
Freyara Scuba. Oh,
out.
and that's the end of the race for Alfonsi.
So we see the casualties now chasing his bike back into the pits. And And there indeed, he takes the lead for the very, very first time.
A bit of nervousness probably in that Yamaha garage.
And Herjan Atner moves through as well, 46, moves through into P3. Van Ardianse tries to join him as well, but his final lap, Arai Agaska has the lead, or did until Ratakore makes that move. He's into the top 5. Herjan Atner, oh, he's going to have to give way there, Herjan Atner. Ramadeepa, can he hold on here? What a win this would be. Going on the inside, Ray Ratakore forced outside. Won't be a win double for Ratakore, but it's just
fantastic
brilliant.
race from Ferozi.
Victory for Ferozi Torkatula on the last of the races at Mandalika. It gives him an opportunity to close in on Kiandra Ramadeepa, who came second in that race. We're at Sepang, the Petronas Sepang International Circuit, for round 5 out of 6 of the Asian Road Racing Championships. And let's have a look at qualifying and the what we saw earlier on today, and where Ramadeepa, the championship leader, showed Barry Russell that he's still going to be the man to beat. But it was a fascinating qualification session earlier on.
Yeah.
Riders took their while to get up and running, but when they did, well, they made mincemeat of this circuit.
That's it. Kiandra came out relatively late after everyone else. The number 31 there, very much worth noting, that is Gary Salim, back in ARRC on a 250, and a rider to watch out for. He would end up qualifying 8th. Number 46, Herjan Atner, really impressive. He's one of the bigger physically riders in this championship. He's got a double rev cut, and he was still running near the front. Another rider with a double rev cut is his teammate, Kiandra Ramadeepa, leading the championship by 16 points from Ferozi.
But this is the man to beat. Number 212, Kiandra Ramadeepa. He's only a small, slight figure, but gosh, can he ride a bike. Ferozi will have to be ferocious to compete with him.
Yeah, Ferozi running with a single rev cut, so a little bit of a disadvantage, but it was a real fairy tale recovery for Ferozi after breaking his leg and missing round 3. Came back in round 4 with a win.
And a P3 as well. There is Ferozi. He'll get himself a P3 here. Kiandra quickest, Herjan Atner. So Astra Honda Racing tend to dominate this AP 250. Not as much this season, but Kiandra Ramadeepa and Herjan Atner, they will be 1 and 2 in qualification here. Aoki Ayoshi in the lime green on the Kawasaki. He'll be in P4, and again, he'll be hoping to pick up some valuable points.
Yeah, well, I think that was his best qualifying of the season on the Kawasaki.
Ayoshi comes in there 4th, but Kiandra in 1st. Herjan Atner, Astra Honda Racing, and Ferozi Torkatula will be on the Yamaha in P3. That was qualification earlier on this morning. Conditions were good then. Conditions remain good now, Barry Russell.
Yep, slightly higher track temperatures, and we are missing one very significant rider from this grid, and that is Arai Agaska, who broke his right wrist in a crash yesterday. So speedy recovery wishes from us. Here is the circuit, 5.5 kilometers, 10 right turns, 5 left turns, lots of undulation changes. One of the most challenging tracks on the planet.
In both races so far that we've seen, the TVS 1 make and the Underbone 150cc, we've seen plenty of casualties. We hope there aren't any casualties, just good racing. Let's go down and get some pre-race thoughts from the main contestants. They're talking to Daniel Bogers, who is down on the grid.
You're joining me on a very, very hot grid for the AP 250 race 1. Although it's not too humid, so it's kind of alright. But we just saw a race where slipstream becomes such a big factor, and in the 250s it's no different. The start-finish line can be where the slipstream plays a huge role on the last lap. That's it. Let's have a chat with Astra Honda rider Herjan Atner. So Herjan, you and Kiandra this weekend have shown really good pace. How are you feeling knowing that your teammate's starting from pole?
Yeah, I'm happy with the setting, and then happy with the position today. I have a good grid for start, and we will see in the race if I can go, I go. But if not, I will fighting with another, and then I try to take the podium here.
Thank you so much, Arjun. Good luck for that. And now we're gonna make our way to row 2, and we're gonna talk to one of the local heroes, a rider who's raced in the World Championship and is now here in ARC in the 250s class with Bunsu, Honda, Sharfuddin Azman. So it's been a good weekend for both team riders, and having Irfan in good form. How do you feel about it? Is there any team planning?
We are making some planning in the race because we need to win the race here. So for me, I don't care. Me or Irfan can win. So we need to fight with other riders.
Thank you so much. Good luck for this race. And last but not least, we're going to go down another row and talk to a Singaporean rider, someone who's raced in the ARC in a different class before. And he joined MSBK last week, actually. And we're just going to squeeze in through really quick. So, Jazil, you came a few weeks ago for the Malaysian Championship to prepare yourself for this ARC wildcard. And row 3 starting for qualifying. It's not too bad of a result. How are you feeling?
It's a great opportunity for me to be here in the wildcard. But I don't have a lot of seat time, so I try my best to follow the front pack. And if a bonus, I get a podium lah. But I try in top 10. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jazzo. Good luck for this race. Back to you, Desenberry.
Thanks very much for the weather report and the thoughts of the racers. Interesting to get Jazil. It's always good to get wildcards. Singapore don't have that many competitors. Good to team ACR involved, but the team to beat. Barry Russell, Keandra Ramadeepa, the man to beat, but Astra Honda Racing Team, they're such a good all-round outfit.
They are the team to beat for sure. Ferozi Torikatula doesn't necessarily see it that way. He is looking really determined, confident, and he's got a swagger of somebody who's really gunning for the championship. There is Aiki Yoshi, who's been doing a terrific job in developing the first season in ARRC AP250s for this 4-cylinder machine run by Motul Sniper Manual Tech. It's a lot heavier than the others because it does have 4 cylinders. That means an extra 15 kilograms, which makes for lots of different characteristics, the most difficult of which is under braking, hauling all that extra weight.
Which could be an issue in one or two of the corners here. He started off the season well, but a couple of did not finishers. He had a P2 in the opening round at Buriram. He's had a couple of P5s at Mategi and at Zhuhai, but otherwise he's struggled a little bit. Irfan Haikal, the first of the Idemitsu Bunchu Honda racers. I think Sharafuddin needs to win more than Irfan Haikal because Sharafuddin's still got an outside chance of the championship. He's on 35 points adrift of the championship leader, Keandra. But Keandra remains the story. Otherwise, Cal Vietnam in P7 is always interesting. Cal Vietnam's had a couple of podiums as well.
Yep, including Mandalika, P2.
Indeed. And there is Fairozi, who is second in the championship standings, 16 points adrift of the championship leader. He won at Mandalika race number 2, as you said. Also got a P3 in race number 2 after that injury. So, again, these guys have no sense. Comes back from a broken leg and gets a P3 and a P1.
It was a terrific comeback, and he does, as I said, he looks so determined now. He believes he can win the championship.
Here is the starting grid for race 1 of the AP250 class. Keandra Ramadeepa, the diminutive Astra Honda Racing Team man and championship leader in P1. Herjan Adna, his teammate and protector in P2. Fairozi Torikatula from Yamaha Racing Indonesia in P3.
On row 2, we have Aiki Yoshi on board the Motul Sniper.
Back, Honda SCK Racing Team for the Indonesian. And Jazil Juraimi for Team ACR, the Singaporean. Very welcome to Sepang in P9.
And on row 4, we've got the wildcard, Kandra Hermawan for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. Piwat Patumyos for East NJT alongside him, and his teammate Warret Tongnapakun in P12.
Once again, East have done pretty well, always there or thereabouts. Emily Zah for Pits Bike One Way in P13 alongside Driandra Trihardika, Motul Sniper Mantek. He's on the second of the Kawasaki's. Gao Ji Ang for Team One for All on the Yamaha.
Gusto Racing India, wildcard, and 18th. Nguyen Hu Tri for Honda Racing Vietnam.
That's a good performance for Gusto Racing. Kevin Samar Quintal for Idemitsu Honda Racing in P19. He won't like being the second of the 3 Indian competitors. Wang Jiadong for Victor Racing in P20, Shun Chengjiang from TY Antares Racing on the Yamaha in 21.
And on row 8, we've got Idemitsu Honda Racing India's Mohsin Paramban. Next to him, Hong Kong rider Leong Nan Tze for Victor Racing. And for SDG Team Hark Pro, new rider for them, Alfred Jacob Sablaya.
So 24, it's quite a grid out there. This for the AP 250s. 8 laps of the track. Yep, get well soon. Come back soon. All right, he broke a wrist earlier on.
Yeah, right wrist.
Right wrist earlier on in this competition. So that's his empty bike, which is a rather sad sight. So yeah, get fit, all right. Araya Gasket 4th in the championship standings. 3 podiums this season, a couple of 4th places. Had an outside chance of the championship.
Yeah, one of the sensational riders, and young riders coming through from Indonesia.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with the left hand so well, but at least he's got a smile on his face.
Yes, gosh. All right, Sepang looking its absolute best. I come here a lot and it always races well, but today that maybe it's the sunshine, maybe it was the nice easy traffic on the way here for a change. Maybe it's because it's a public holiday weekend in Malaysia, but it just seems a little bit more glorious, the sunshine.
Yeah, it's sunny. The humidity, as Daniel said on the grid earlier, isn't as high as it normally is, and I'm sure in the, I don't know, 10 times or so I've been here, this is the nicest weather that I've experienced at Sepang.
Okay, that's enough about us and our thoughts. Let's get down to the races. And Fairozi, does he have a chance? Astra Honda 1 and 2 once again, and looking quick. Indeed, the only guys inside 225 in qualification with the Astra Honda pairing of Kiandra Ramadeepa in P1 and Herjan Atna in P2. Fairozi in the blue alongside them. Everybody just set, waiting for the flagmen to make their way. The green flag is waving at the back, the red flag is out. Preparations, red lights are on. We are underway. Ramadeepa off to a steady start, Fairozi off to a flyer. Fairozi draws alongside Herjan Atna, tries to get close to Ramadeepa. In fact, he's got himself into P2, Fairozi. That was a terrific start from the Yamaha racer.
Yeah, the question was, would Kiandra be able to scamper away? Fairozi is all over him, and Herjan not so far behind him. It's a clean start anyway, thank goodness, for this 24-rider field.
Fairozi, well, Kiandra has already been able to pull away just a little bit behind them. Sharafuddin Azman has made a steady start as well. Going backwards, though, was the Kawasaki of Aoki Oshi. That big, heavy bike, it's slow to get off the line. There's a disadvantage on there, and then he's just got to hope that the big straights, he can get enough momentum to really make a difference. But look at this lead early on from Kiandra Ramadeepa, and he's got a rev counter deficit as well.
Yeah, he's got a double rev cut, as has the rider behind him. Fairozi has a single rev cut, and right behind Fairozi is Sharafuddin. And Cal Vietnam's there. Irfan Haikal, who's had a great weekend so far, is also up there. But there is daylight opening up between Kiandra Ramadeepa and the rest of the field.
Emil Idzar's made a good start from way down in P13. He's got himself into the top 10. Cal Vietnam, bike 63. Sharafuddin 63. Cal Vietnam, bike 65. We've got the usual contenders at the front. But Kiandra Ramadeepa, gosh, this is a truly explosive start from the youngster.
Chandra Hermawan, the wild card in for Yamaha Racing Indonesia, also in touch with that leading group, just ahead of Aiki Ioshi.
Kiandra, he's got 2 wins and a P2 in his last 4 races. It was also P6 there. He started the season off relatively sedately with a P5, P6, P6. But since Motegi, he has really been in red-hot form, and the start he's made here in Sepang suggests that his confidence is sky high as he's going to come into this first corner. That's more than a second plus clear.
It is. He looked as though he was going to do this from the gap. Oh, and there goes Chandra Hermawan, and he's taken a Honda with him. Which one is it?
65, Cao Vietnam.
Vietnam.
So Cao Vietnam is taken. He is collateral damage. Piandra, meantime, 9/10 of a second clear of Fairozi. In fact, Herjan Adner then goes past Fairozi into P2. Astra Honda Racing looking very, very strong. Let's have a look at the problems. Again, it's turn 15, Barry Russell.
Yeah, and they all seem to be on the exit as the riders perhaps get the power on just a little too eagerly, a little too early. But yeah, that was Kandra, Hermawan and Cao Vietnam who went out in that incident. Ferozi Torakatula is leading the chase for the young Astra Honda rider, Kandra Ramadeepa, who is scampering away and is really going to take some catching. The riders behind are going to need to work together to have a chance of overhauling him.
Sharafuddin for Idemitsu Bunchu Honda, just on the back there of Herjan Adner Ferdous. Leading the secondary group, bike 31, is Gary Salim, who we know as a former 250cc champion. We know he can race. Good to see him back as a wild card, Gary Salim, for SCK Racing Team. There he is, bike number 31. He's alongside Emil Izdar Ezwan for Pids Bike. So local teams trying to make a little bit of an impact as we have.
Another one's down.
Another problem.
Is that Gary? Oh, legs have gone.
We'll keep a close eye on that one. That's never a good sight. No flags out at the moment. In the meantime, Kandra Ramadeepa almost in a race of his own. In a second here and there.
Yep, a lot closer now. And Sharafuddin is in that gap. He definitely feels the need to win. He isn't carrying a rev cut.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kianda, Fairozi, Ferdous, Sharafuddin, Iyoshi. Irfan Heikel continues his good weekend in P6. Gary Salim in 7. Jazil Juraimi in 8. Emil Izdar and Warrit in 9 and 10 respectively. We focus on the front men. Alvin Xavier, I think it was, who came a cropper.
Right,
In
now
that
look,
incident that we saw.
we've got Ferozi Torakatula getting onto the back wheel of the young Indonesian. He crossed the line 0.3 of a second behind him. And now he looks closer than that.
They're on board here with Aoki Yoshi and Irfan Heikel as 1, 2, 3 and 4 go through. Sharafuddin. Here is Iyoshi. As you say, it's a heavier bike. This circuit might suit him because of the long straights, but he's got to be in the right position and get the momentum out of the corners to really work that Kawasaki. In the meantime, Fairozi, you're quite right, he's really caught up onto the back wheel of Kandra Ramadeepa.
Yeah, he looks like he's going faster. On the last lap, he was half a second faster, a full half a second faster than Kiandra. He's having a look now, he's got time, no need to rush it.
If we're talking championship standings, Fairozi probably needs a win because the differential between he and Kiandra is 16 points. He'd like to certainly chop that down, don't want to go into Buram 20 points or so down. There's 2 races here though, there's 50 points available. Glad to say that Alwin Xavier is up. That was a little bit disturbing how he collapsed in shot, so glad to see that he's walking around.
Yeah, you're never sure what might cause that. It could have just been a knock to one of his knees. Delayed shock.
In the meantime though, look at this. Fairozi has gone past Kianda Ramadeepa. And Ramadeepa at one stage looked like he was going to scoot away with this. Gets it back once again into the lead. That can be very, very disconcerting. The front shot there, you're never sure who's got it.
That's right, and Herjan Atner staying with them as well. Sharafuddin staying close, but it's Ferozi presenting a challenge. Let's see how they go through turn 1. It is a good spot for overtaking. Let's see if he wants it this time.
Ferozi with the fastest lap of the race. And rather than going into P1, he goes into P3 as Herjan Atner just closes the gate on him. Sharafuddin Azman not too far behind. And behind them, Aiki Ayoshi and Irfan Heikel have also pulled in just a little bit close. It's an 8-lap race, so still plenty of time to go when just beyond 1/3 of the way through. And these first 6 are pulled way, way clear of the rest, where Emil Izdar and Jamil Juraimi are some 6 seconds down, but this is where the race is really going to be won and lost.
Yeah, the race is closing up behind Kiandra. I've been watching Ferozi pushing him, but Erjan Atner is also there. Sharafuddin looking for a win and catching them up, getting very close now. In touch is Aiki Iyoshi.
Yeah, Iyoshi.
And Irfan.
Yeah, he doesn't have the rev disability. He can use this circuit. I must say I was expecting Iyoshi and the Kawasaki to perform well here, as he just looks on the inside. Very, very close now. Tries to move into P3, has a door closed on him as they come up the hill. It is still Ramadeepa from Ferozi, Astro Honda from Yamaha Indonesia from Erjan Atner. Erjan third in the championship standings. He could use his teammate to finish behind him as well. And then Iyoshi moves into P3.
Yeah, good move. It's really interesting to see how this Kawasaki is being muscled around by the Japanese rider. Probably qualifies as a veteran in this class, Aiki Iyoshi.
I think so, but the veteran doing a good job. This is where the Kawasaki might have a slight advantage. If he can get a toe. But everybody is bobbing and weaving, getting out of the way. There is the Kawasaki, comes on the inside of Ramadeepa and moves into P2. In fact, the Kawasaki of Aiki Iyoshi was temporarily in P1, takes the long way round. He, though, and the Yamaha of Ferozi Kozakdula, they are 1 and 2. And Iyoshi, I think, has got to grips with this bike on this circuit.
Certainly looks like it. And you can see that speed picking up as they went down the straight. Ferozi crossed the line first. He's now third.
Ramadeepa suddenly found a little bit of something. This is fascinating. So we are just at the halfway point now.
And Ferozi shuffled all the way back to 5th in one corner.
41 in there, Irfan Heikel. Sharafuddin, 63 at the back of that group of 6. Is he just making sure that he's keeping close, so that with 2 laps to go, 10 kilometers or so to race, he'll be okay? The second pack, Gary Salem is leading the second pack. There's some 8 seconds down on the top 6, but Gary Salem, welcome back to him, alongside Emil Izdar and the East racers, Warrit. Patumyas in there as well.
That's it. Jamil Juraimi also in there, the number 68. So good battle going on in that group. Gary Salim has managed to stay pretty much at the front of it throughout this race so far.
Win your own little race. You're not quite in the same league in terms of the bike and the setup and the team support as the top 6. If you can win your own little race, you'll be doing fine. Back up to the front. Ferozi had the fastest lap, but now he's down in P5, struggling just a little bit as they come up the hill on the back end of this circuit. Oh, and he's down. Ferozi is down. Ferozi Torkatullah. Again, it looks like he's made a mistake. It looks like rider error, and that could be curtains on his championship challenge.
Disappointment there for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. They already lost one rider through injury. Ferozi struggling to pick that bike up. He could be winded, but his championship challenge looks shaky now. He already had 2 DNSs. Let's take a look now. Yep, all his own work, unfortunately, for Ferozi.
Just leaned in. That's the second time we've seen somebody go out on that corner. Iyoshi is the new race leader as they come through at the end of lap 5. It's 3 laps to go. Iyoshi has got Ramadeepa in close support, and the 2 Astra Hondas come out of the shadow of Iyoshi and go into 1 and 2 respectively. Sharafuddin Azman for Idemitsu Bunchu Honda. So it's Honda, Kawasaki, Honda. The Yamahas have had a
behind him, even though Kiandra is a little bit slower on lap times. Was that a smile or a grimace?
Kind of a hopeful smile, I think, from the Kawasaki team. They've worked so hard to try to make the Motul Sniper Mantec team competitive. It's been a difficult season for Aoshi. He's still managed to pick up enough points to be in 7th place. Oh, he'd love to pick up 25 here and give him some maybe momentum going into tomorrow and then into the final 2 races of the season in Buriram. But he's trailing the Astra Honda racing team duo at the moment, and still the Idemitsu Bunshu Honda duo in 4 and 5. Ferozi, was he able to get back up? Yeah, he's back up, Ferozi, but he's 21st of 21 out on the circuit.
Yeah, tilt at the title is looking really difficult now. With 3 no scores.
Cal Vietnam also crashed and he's back up and out. Just trying to get a point or 2 points, 20th at the moment. You never know.
Yeah, 3 laps left. It's always worth having a go.
Aoshi just peeps out from the sea of red in front of him and behind him. He's little like an island.
Nice lush green island.
Indeed. Aoshi goes around the outside. Can he hold on to it? I'm fascinated by the lines they take round turn 15 as they come through with 2 laps to go. 3/4 of the race have now gone, and it is Kiandra Ramadipa who has a lead. Less than 0.8 of a second between this group of 5. Aoshi does seem to have the acceleration down the main straight, but has he got it from turn 15 to the home finish line? That would be the problem for him. The second group behind just go through with Warwick leading that little group. Gary Salim drops down to P8.
Yeah, so Kiandra back to 3 now. It looked in the early laps as though he was going to scamper away at the front, but it's not going to happen. Got Herjan behind him now. Sharifuddin looking for a result. He's got his teammate Irfan Haikal in front of him at the moment. This is the best we've seen from Irfan Haikal for Idemitsu Bunshu Honda, the 250 squad.
Yeah, he's well regarded as Irfan Haikal. Still only young, still learning his trade, but now up to 250s. And consistently competing towards the top of the grid. He got himself a P5. He had a first fastest qualification, I believe, in Mandalika. That will have done his confidence the power of good, and now he's competing at the top end against an ex-champion like Sharafuddin, an experienced campaigner like Aiki Aoshi, and against the Astro Honda racing team as well. It's Aoshi who leads though. He's looked good, Aiki Aoshi, he's looked confident, and this circuit I've always thought would suit the heavier Kawasaki.
Yeah, and we have seen, years gone by, we've seen Aiki Aoshi going really well at
Aoshi still leads the way. The train comes down, the station awaits. We've got the behind is Herjan Atna Ferdaus. And Herjan Adna isn't in the right place. In the right place, though, was 41 Irfan Haikal, and Irfan Haikal may well have taken a place there. As they come through, indeed, Irfan Haikal has got himself.
And I'm going to call it for... no, my heart's running my head here. I'm going to call it for Aiki Aoshi. Sorry, that was straight from the heart.
From the heart, says Barry Russell. The cool, calculating Barry Russell. As Aoshi tries to prove him right. Kiandra Ramadipa has regained 3rd place from another youngster, Irfan Haikal. Aoshi, has he got the pace? That's the key. His last lap time at 2:26.5. Irfan Haikal was quicker, 2:26.2. Aoshi hunkers down. He can feel, no doubt, the Astra Honda racing team behind him. Aoshi would love a P1. Ferozi has already disappeared. For Kiandra Ramadipa, this is going to be good no matter what happens, because he's going to be in the points. Nervous tension in the pits.
Yeah, nobody's blinking in that Motul Sniper Manual Tech pit.
Aoshi comes up the hill. Right, we're into the final half of this last lap. Aoshi has led throughout this final lap. Is he able to hold off Herjan Atna and Kiandra? Can Bunchu Honda make a call? Honda's 2 that leads the way.
Guanhu Tree has come Tongapukun and 10. So some really interesting stuff going on behind them.
Back now, so Kiandra takes a move. Kiandra now then at the front as they come round the final corner. It is Astra Honda Racing again, forced wide. It is going to be Herjan Adna. Can the Kawasaki get a pull? Aoshi tries to get there. Aoshi! Sarah Food in 3, Irfan Heikel 4, Kiandra 5, photo finish. Well, your heart came good, but it's palpitating, Barry Russell.
It absolutely is palpitating. That was absolutely phenomenal. And that called it, Des, on that drag up to the line. It's quite a long one. Those 4 cylinders kicked in. Sharifuddin. Kiandra, this is interesting. Kiandra back in P5.
Wow, now they can look. In fact, there's of joy. Those eyes were not blinking before. Now they are flooded with tears. It's an emotional time. The race result is under investigation. But 5,000th of a second. And look how he does it, Barry Russell.
Yeah, we're seeing it now, those 4 cylinders kicking in. This is a photo finish. They come up to the line.
Has he got it?
Here they come, and I think he has. Oh, the angle's just not quite right here.
Herjan Adna has been awarded the race. Herjan Adna, the controls have changed. It has changed. Aoshi was given it originally. Race control said they got it, but it's 5,000th of a second. It's gone to Herjan Adna. Oh, Aoshi, those tears, instead of tears of joy, there'll be tears of frustration. Aoshi thought he had it. He pumped his fist.
He had the momentum. If that finish line had been
a meter.
2 or 3 meters further on, he'd have absolutely got it.
5,000th of a second, the difference.
Nevertheless, that is a really good result for the Motul Sniper Manual Tech. Kiandra. We haven't seen that yet on the replay. No doubt we
of the photo finish.
Yeah, Sharifuddin salutes as he comes into Parc Fermé for the 2nd time this season in P3. Warwick comes in for East NJT. I tell you what, that was a really good result for Guanhu Tree to come through in 7th. Herjan Adna.
He's often the man who's not regarded as the main man of the Astra Honda Racing team. Although it's his 2nd win of the season for Herjan. Very often he's P2 or P3, and let's see what kind of reaction we're going to get from Aoshi. Here are the Idemitsu Bunchu Honda. Kiandra Ramadipa, he'll pick up points in P5. He'll pick up 11 for that. Gary Salim, best of the rest for Honda SCK Racing Team in P6. Hu Tri, as you said, for Honda Racing Vietnam. Excellent for them in P7. P8 was Waddett for the East Racing Team. Emil Isdar for Pitspike One Way. JRT Tech Racing in 9. Gao Jiang for Team One for All in 10. Jazil Juraimi, a wild card. He said he wanted top 10. Finishes 11th. That's frustrating. Only 2/10 down, 200ths down. Diandra Chidhardika in 12 for Motul Sniper Mantec on the Kawasaki. Pewa Patumyas, Watcherit Tuptimon for the East NGT Racing Team. And in the final 1 point goes to Kevin Quintal for Idemitsu Honda Racing India, the best of the Indian competitors. Wang Jiadong Victor Racing in 16. Shun Chen Jiang not too far behind. Good battle between them. TY Antares Racing Team in 17. Alfred Jacob Sablaya for SDG Team Hawk Pro. This is a debut. He did as well as could be expected. In fact, he got ahead of Mosim Paramban, which will please him. Cal Vietnam crashed out and came back to finish 48 seconds down. Fairozi crashed out, finished a minute down, and Leong Nang Tse went 5 laps from home.
Yeah, just off camera we can see Fairozi just trundled into the finishing area, the technical area. Looks absolutely crestfallen.
Kandra and Alwyn, we saw both crash out. Thankfully, both are reported to be okay. Right then, best of the race. AP 250cc from the Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Kiandra Ramadipa by 2-on-2. Championship leader and off the grid quickest, but Fairozi Torikatola, second in the championship for Yamaha, also off pretty well.
Yeah, he looked really strong. It did look in the first couple of laps as though Kiandra was going to run away with the run away with the lead, but Fairozi had different ideas, and as we would, there was that horrible incident. Riders okay, but that was Kandra and Cal Vietnam.
Thankfully both okay. Then Herjan Atner, who just kept his powder dry for the first quarter of the lap, made sure that he was there or thereabouts. Similarly with the man who we'd have a really close battle with at the end, Ayoshi on the Kawasaki. They were there, and all our focus was on the Yamaha, who we thought of Fairozi would be able to really cope with this, and Fairozi gets himself in all kinds of problem and skids out, Barry.
Yeah, it was high stakes for Fairozi. He needed to finish in front of Kiandra to have a chance at the championship. Sharafuddin all the way through there, the number 63, fighting for the win, or at the very least a podium.
It was a Kawasaki and 4 Hondas at this stage. And then it just looked like the Kawasaki, the power of the Kawasaki, was going to be able to power its way through. He made his move, Aoki Ayoshi, with 1.5 laps to go. He would be in the lead coming into the final lap. And then the real battle would start into the final corner. Herjan Atner just gets the better line. And then it is a sprint for the finish. Ayoshi, I'm convinced, thinks he's got this. It is so close. An instant behind them. Ayoshi closes. Can he get there? The answer was, by 5,000ths of a second, no.
High emotion there in the Astra Honda bit of some power hugging going on there, let's call it. But this is quite a good shot of the finish there. But you have to say credit to Herjan Atner. He took the best line through the final turn and he held on to it just through to the end.
Now the official score sheet in front of us gave it initially to Ayoshi. It was not it. Sharafuddin Azman will be happy with his 16 points. That's a good performance on his home circuit. Ayoshi, yes, it's a smile, but yes, it's B2. Was that the sign?
Yeah, I think they've been watching the publicity ahead of the Oasis comeback.
And Herjan Atner, that's definitely a #1. It's been a good day for Indonesia. We'll dissect things a little bit more. Astra Honda Racing take the victory. And we will have the Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya, to celebrate a fabulous victory. Applause for Indonesia Raya, applause for Herjan Adna Firdaus. How quick is 5,000th of a second? It is literally quicker than a snap of your fingers. Stefan Maki Karapie, FIM Asia President, handing out the prizes. Sharafudin seems pretty happy.
He does look happy with that.
Aiki. Make it a number one, Steph. Make it a number one.
From Indonesia, Herjan Adna Firdaus.
5,000th of a second. I can't recall a closer finish this season. We had a 1,000th of a second last year. 5,000th. No. It's a meter, an extra meter, and he gets it. Mr. Yasuhide Hirai, Managing Director of Idemitsu Lube, hands out the team award to Astra Honda Racing Team. Again, our thanks to Idemitsu in particular, but all the sponsors who are so supportive of the Asian Road Racing Championship. It is all about the athletes, it's all about the riders and the teams, but obviously the sponsors make a huge contribution to the show that the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship has become. Very much a part of the motor racing calendar, and it's also a stepping stone for many, many great racers.
Yeah, I must say, for me, the standout thing there, apart from the breakthrough performance for Kawasaki, was the class of Herjan to take that win.
Herjan Adna is second in the championship standings, just 3 points behind Kiandra Ramadeepa. That means with 3 races to go, 75 points up for grabs. Those two are clear favourites, but Fairozi, despite crashing out today, he's still within touching distance, 27 points behind. Sharafuddin comes within 30. Arai Agaska, his broken wrist means that he's 33 points behind. He'll be hoping that he's fit and ready for Buriram at the start of December. Aoshi on 78 points. It would be so much better if he had a win under his name. Cal Vietnam crashed out today on 61. What it for the East NJT Racing Team on 59 points. Pirwat Potumias for East NJT Racing on 43. Ray Ratakore, gosh, he'll live in the memory, won't he, for that win in Mandalika. He's in 10th. Irfan Heikel, good performance from him. He'll be looking for a top 10 berth at the end of the season. Agiwara was a wild card for Samwa Racing. He picked up 30 points. Remember Agiwara. The Vietnamese contingent are picking up points frequently. Ton Ampu and Hu Tri. Hu Tri doing very well today to pick up a P8. Alfonso in P9. Okay, let's get some post-race reaction to that incredibly tight AP 250. Let's go down to Daniel Bogas, who I believe is in the Park Ferme.
So Damok, it's a great charge to the podium from you, a great result from you and the team. How was the race out there today?
Yeah, firstly, I'm really happy about today. So for me, during the race, I'm quite struggle a little bit with the bike, but I try to manage well until to finish line. But I see other riders crash in front of me, Ferozi, and I almost hit him. So I try to keep calm and try to overtake my teammate in last corner. So I'm really happy about today's podium. So we need to keep focus for tomorrow's race. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and good luck for tomorrow's race. And in second place, after a really close photo finish, Aiki Yoshi. Aiki, you have to imagine that if the finish line was just about 30 centimeters further, that would have been your victory. But nevertheless, a fantastic result. How was it?
Yeah, today's race was a very fun race and good intense battle. Another line very pushing. But today, so I'm lost, but I'm happy to stand it here. But yeah, I will more pushing and of course, so I will win tomorrow race too.
Thank you so much, Aiki. Big congratulations and good luck for tomorrow. And race winner here in Sepang for race 1 for the AP 250 class, Herjan Adna Firdaus. Herjan, you've looked fantastic all weekend, and my oh my, that was a tough race. Aiki was really putting the pressure on, but your racecraft was a masterclass and you managed to get the victory. How was it?
Yeah, I'm happy today. Like Like I say in the starting grid, I say when I can go, I go. But when fighting, I will fighting with very good. And then, alhamdulillah, I can get the winner here. And thank you to Astra Honda. Thank you to my family. Always support me. Last round in the Indonesia, I was disappointed because I cannot get podium in my home race. But here, I pay all for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Big congratulations.
Idemitsu IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with super bike proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. Idemitsu IRG5.
Supersport 600 is a go.
To Astra Honda fans, of course, here.
Dimaseki was the second fastest racer. He will not be completing this race.
With a bit of a gap on the rest of the field as Adananta takes back the lead.
Bit of improvisation, and so as Roy says, if you can do it on one corner, I can do it on the next.
Let's watch this gap to Adananta. Helmi Asman comes up the inside of Vida Ega. Helmi Asman won race 1 here last year. Now between Adananta and Azroy. Here comes Adananta.
1 and 2 go through. Half a second between them. 2 seconds between P2 and P4. Make sure you hold on to the victory, but look at that razor. Danica has just been slingshotted past. This is for the win. Azroy Hakim Anwar, Idemitsu Buju Honda takes it from Adananta Putra. P3 goes to Helmi Asman from an excellent even start for 1, 2, 3. Veda Ega Pratama. Azroy Hakim from P1 to P3 inside a couple of corners.
Down goes, it's a Yamaha. Is that Apiwat? Oh, it was Apiwat.
Oh, wow.
So, damage limitation mission has failed. Oh, and there's an engine gone.
Oh, it's 32. It's Mohammed Helmi Asman.
So that's cooked. That engine is cooked. Tried him, and then it's Vader. So it is looking a bit like a Honda day, but it's a cracking race. 5-way battle for the #1 position.
Oh, Azroy forced to stand up, and Azroy comes off.
Down.
Azroy comes off, tries to get back on. No doubt there'll be a race direction, but Adananta Putra comes through to take the victory. Ahead of Veda Ega. As it stands, the victory to Adananta Putra and Astra Honda Racing, Barry Russell. That was the action at Mandalika in July. We are here at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. A beautiful sight at this international circuit. This is round 5 of 6 of the Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championships. We're looking at the Supersport 600cc. And this is the turn, or this is the track. The two long straights, Barry Russell, are really the identifier of this circuit.
Yeah, they are coming on at turn 14, getting the rundown right to as we look up the home straight here. So Daniel is on the grid, so let's see who he's found to talk to.
Down on the grid for the Supersport 600, the weather is actually lovely. It's sunny, but it's not too humid, so you're able to deal with it. It's quite nice. And right now, behind me is the view that Adinata Putra has. Number 2 and number 1. One of the Prince of Sepang, Helmi Azman, but the new lap record holder, Apiwat. We're going to have a quick talk with Apiwat. He's going to squeeze through the mechanics. So, Apiwat, I'm going to have to jump on this side. Excuse me. So, Apiwat, a really strong qualifying session with a new lap record this time. But you have two Sepang specialists, Helmi and Azroy, with you. How confident are you when there's going to be a battle?
Yeah, it's I think Malaysia rider is very fast than here. But yeah, my opinion is I think it's start in the good start and follow the front group, but in the keep the less pace. We will see in the again.
Thank you so much, Apiwat. Good luck. And now we're going to go next to Apiwat to Helmi Azman, one of the princes of Sepang, as Barry has been calling him. So, Helmi, home race for you, home circuit, and it's a circuit that you and Azroy know the best on this grid. We called you the Princess of Sepang in commentary. How are you feeling about getting a good result here?
Yes, for sure. This race I will try for maximum point and we try to win this race. So let's see how this race.
Thank you, Helmi. Good luck. And now we're gonna quickly make our way down to the final spot on the grid, which is Tanat Lamplio, and he got pushed back on the grid, and we don't have exactly the information of why that is yet. But we're going to have a chat with Tanat because Tanat has been practicing many runs here in Sepang with Honda Racing Thailand. We're going to get a quick word with him. So, Tanat, it's been, you guys have a lot of data now in Sepang. How has that helped you for your race pace now?
Yes, feel confident for today, this 11. Before I joined to Malaysia Superbike, I have data and I have to practice before to coming here. So confident today, the first time is start in behind. Yes, I will do my best.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Back to you, Des and Barry.
Thanks very much, Daniel. Yes, plenty to talk about there. I'd quickly like to talk about Apiwat Wangtananon. You know the Thai racers particularly well, Barry, based up there. We'll talk about the guys as we come there. Apiwat, wrist injury last time out. Is he fully cured? Is he fully fit?
I think he is. I was at Buriram last weekend where they had the Circuit Championship and he won 2 Superbike races there, Apiwat. So it looks as though he's race fit. His speed in qualifying was something. We know that the setup is different between qualifying and race because of the extra grip of the qualifying tyres. So that could mean that the race is closer than the qualifying times might suggest.
Let's have a look at Azroy Hakim Anwar. He and the man you call the Prince, who didn't seem too thrilled with being called the Prince, Helmi Azman.
Well, I've been calling them the Princes of Sepang, to be fair. Yeah.
Well, Azroy had a win in race number 1 yesterday, and then we saw was doing very nicely, but was taken off at the last corner at Mandalika. Got up off his bike and picked up 7 points, but that hurts him. He is 40 points behind Apiwat Wangtananon. A fit Apiwat, he could really make huge strides towards the championship if he does well here. Adnan Chaputra, 2nd place in the championship standings, is 4th on the grid here, 8 points behind. There is Apiwat, Yamaha Technique Racing Team Racing Team Asia, sorry, a Thai on the Yamaha in P1 alongside Helmi Azman for Idemitsu Bunchu Honda and Kyatisak Singapong, who I think has been improving in leaps and bounds.
3 riders from 3 different Honda teams on row 2, led by Adinanta Putra for Astra Honda. Honda Racing Thailand's Tanat is next to him, and Azroy Hakim Anwar is starting from P6.
In P7, Veda Ega Pratama will be there on P7. alongside McKinley Kalpaz, who has had one podium so far this season, but has otherwise struggled a little bit with a step up to 600s. And Kengo Nagao, always a popular wildcard, the Japanese for Yamaha Racing Indonesia.
Yep, row 4, Reza Danica Arens for Astra Honda, starts 10th. Next to him, Wayu Nugroho and Shojin Tong, who really has been knocking second after second off his lap times, will start from P12.
Kengo Nagao, of course, is not a wild card. He's racing very much for the Yamaha Racing Team Indonesia. He was a wild card when he joined the circuit, so that's where I misnamed him.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that, Des, is that he was a wild card with his own team, Team
Yes.
Ken, right,
Yes.
in Motegi. Since then, he's been a replacement rider in Yamaha Racing Indonesia, which is quite a different thing. Out of the comfort zone, away from home, circuits he hasn't known, but he's been doing really well.
He did very well in Motegi, a first and a second place for his home team. These guys, though, they just love the racing. 31, Tanat Longpliao will be starting at the back of the grid.
Yeah, I haven't seen what the infraction was that put him back there. It could have been a yellow flag infringement or something. But this is going to be a really close race. We saw the drama in the recap of Mandalika. Plenty of drama there. I think we're going to see some very close racing again today. I don't think anybody is going to run away with this. But the qualifying time, sorry, there's 2:08.742 for Apiwat, circuit record.
It's not a big field, but gosh, it's a quality field. If you've got Reza Danica Arens, the defending 250cc champion, down in P10, and Wayu Nugroho down in P11, you know you've got some seriously good racers.
Yeah, Tanat has been looking really strong. Kiatisak also, who scored his first podium last time out. So the rookies coming through, as we always hope they will. Veda Ega Pratama as well, of course. These bikes now trundling up to the line.
The 8 laps of the circuit. Apiwat leads the championship standings, 8 points clear of Adnan Putra, 124 points. He's had 3 wins and 2 P2s, Apiwat. You take away the injury that he had and the did not finish that he had in Mandalika, he could well have had this title almost certainly wrapped up. He's back into form once again, the tie for the Yamaha Techni team. All just about set. Race number 9 of 12 of the ARR season is underway. And the start is good from P3 from Kiatisuk. Kiatisuk has got alongside Apiwat, and Kiatisuk, bike number 85, just tucks in behind his fellow Thai, tries to slingshot into the front, and then just holds on to P2, but that was excellent from Kiatisuk.
Yeah, and Azroy was coming through. We're on board there with Hilmi Azman. Looking back there at Adananta.
A little bit of contact right at the back there. Tanat Longpiao was trying to come through Wayu Nugroho, and I think there was a bit of contact. Tanat's got away with it, but it's look at this. It is Apiwat Wongtananon who leads the way. Number 20, Azroy Hakim Amwar tries. Oh, he nearly lost it there, Azroy.
Yeah, that's the Yamaha leading a whole gaggle of Hondas just behind him. Setting out a little gap there.
Is that the collective phrase, the gaggle? Gaggle of Hondas?
That's officially a collective noun for Hondas, yeah. Trust me, I'm a teacher.
Behind them, that's looking back onto Azroy Hakim Amwar. Also looking back onto Adnan Putra, who won the last race in Mandalika. Seems like yesterday, but it was a few weeks ago. Apiwat, though, what a terrific start from Apiwat Wongtananon. He's dragged Mohammed Helmi Azman with him. Helmi knows this circuit like very few others, and he rides it routinely.
Yeah, Azroy's just got ahead of Kiatisak, who was running third for Honda Racing Thailand. Let's see, it's all kind of orderly, a little bit strung out now. Ooh, taking a very wide line around the outside there was Kiatisak.
And Azroy Hakim is the new race leader. And tell you what, he was pushed out, he was bullied out of there, was Apiwat Wongthananon. Went from P1 to P3, and is immediately under pressure from Katisak Singapong as well. And it is the guys who you call the Princes of Sepang, who are in 1 and 2 as they come around turn 15 for the very first time. 10 laps of the circuit, this will be 9 to go. And it is indeed Idemitsu Bunchu Honda in 1 and 2. Helmi from Azroy Hakim, Apiwat Kiatisuk, Adananta Putra and Feda Ega Pratama in P6.
Yeah, Adananta making a good move there into turn 1. Looking back from Helmi to Apiwat, who doesn't very often get mugged, but he was definitely the muggy on this occasion. He covered one of those places.
Well, Apiwat has got himself back into P2, but the Bunchu Hondas are the sandwich on either side. Apiwat is the meat in the middle as they, again, accelerate away.
Tough meat as well, Des, you have to say, in the form of Apiwat.
The Yamaha as well, also just clinging on. Kiatisuk Singapong, who throughout this season, I believe, has got better and better, picked up his first podium of the campaign at Mandalika. Last time out, he's one of the rising stars in Thailand, or the next generation.
Yeah, both those 600 riders for Honda Racing Thailand showing up very well. Breakthrough for Kiatisak with his first ARRC podium. As you said, unfortunate for Tanat this time to have been penalised on the grid. He's back in 9th at the moment.
That means he's gone past Wainagrohu, Kengo Nagao, who's had a tough start. And Tanat is now in 9. Reza Danica in his sights as we focus on P1, which is Helmi Asman. And we've got Tanat going out. We just spoke about him, and it looks like he's hurt himself. Tanat Longpliao obviously trying very, very hard to make up time and space, and also going down.
Is that Adananta?
Adananta Putra goes down as well. So 2 crashes inside a couple of corners.
Oh, Adananta crashing out from P2 in the championship. Bad news for him, good news for championship leader Apiwat, currently in P2. The meat in that Idemitsu Bunchu Honda sandwich.
That is good news for Apiwat Wongthananon. There is the second of the incidents, and just barged into Kiatisak, and Kiatisak was stronger. Adananta, you can see his frustration from his instant reaction, tries to get up, he'll get back on his bike, he'll try to finish the race and pick up some points. Any points could be useful in this championship challenge.
Yeah, so let's watch Apiwat. Will he attack, or will he be mindful of the championship position? He's going to attack.
Yes. Yes, as you were saying that.
That was one of my most pathetic rhetorical questions.
Helmi Asman will also want to attack. Tanat comes in to the pits right in front of us just to check the damage, see if he can get back out. Well, actually, with that Adananta who came into the pits in front of us, not Tanat. As 32 leads the way, Helmi Asman. Malaysian born and bred, knows this circuit. Malaysian Superbikes Championship, Capri Championships for year after year. Helmi and Azroy Hakim know this circuit like the back of their hand. Apiwat Wongthananon also knows this circuit and is chased into P2.
Yeah,
I can confirm, good news, both riders in the incidents that we saw are okay. Tanat was the one I think we're most concerned with, Barry, but the good news is that even though his bike is still being picked up in the far corner, he is okay.
So he will be back tomorrow to continue because he has been looking good this weekend. Different lines there from race leader Helmi and championship leader and chaser Apiwat.
Bit of a procession leading the way. Apiwat is the chasee to Helmi Asman.
Just putting some daylight between themselves and Azroy in P3. That's good news for Apiwat because he could be potentially a mugging victim if the 2 Princes of Sepang were running together.
1 and 2 go through, 3, 4 and 5. Veda Ega currently in P5. 3 seconds between Helmi Asman and the man in P5. McKinley Kalpaz, the best of the rest. He's in P6. And just going through, there was Sha Jun Tong once again, 11 seconds down.
Yeah, a second now between the front two and Azroy in P3.
Still plenty of racing to go in this contest. But these two at the moment looking like they are pulling away from everybody else. Helmi will be feeling the pressure from Apiwat.
This looks like Apiwat's plan is just to keep the pressure on, not necessarily to take a chance and a lunge to overtake, but just to keep Helmi on edge if he possibly can.
Helmi will just have to just be patient. He's not had the greatest of seasons for Helmi Asman. 2 P2s and a P1, 2 DNFs for Helmi. And you've got to finish, you've got to complete the races to pick up the points. Behind them, Azroy Hakim Anwar tries to close in. What was the gap? 1.5 seconds he's down on Apiwat at the end of the previous lap. Kiatisak Singapore for Honda Thailand in P4. Different line from him.
Yeah, he raced here in MSBK just 2 weeks ago. Apiwat is one of the few riders that didn't show up for that race, I believe.
Makes a lot of sense. Hey, it gives support to the Malaysia Superbikes Championship, but also it gives you an awful lot of time to work on the circuit to just improve incrementally. Behind them, Veda Ega Pratama is down in P5. Veda Ega had a P2 and a P1 at Mandalika for his first podium finishes. Stepping up from the 250s last year, Veda Ega. This is your leader. Very little, 2/10 between Helmi and Apiwat. And Apiwat, quite rightly, I think you said it before, just looks like he's shadowing Helmi. Just saying, I'm the man on your shoulder. Some riders can cope with that pressure, others can't.
I think Helmi's probably mature enough, but the kind of pressure that Apiwat puts on you is special pressure, because Helmi knows how aggressive he is. He knows that if they are head-to-head, that Apiwat won't back down, and that makes a difference to the way you try to hold them off.
There's the battle for P3. The live championship points bottom right. Apiwat, if it stands as it is, Adananta's crash means Adananta would drop down 23 points adrift, and Helmi would be 39 adrift of Apiwat. Apiwat, apart from that injured time that he had in Mandalika, it's largely been his season. Further down, 23 is McKinley Kalpaz. Reza Danica Arans, the defending champion, stepping up to 600s. He's in a good class of opponent here, Reza Danica. And it's good to see the likes of McKinley Kalpaz picking up this kind of experience. And behind them, Kengo Nagao. Kengo will teach these young lads one or two things.
Yeah, Kengo's clearly enjoying his time here at Sepang.
Reza Danica is the man in position there. Reza Danica currently, where is he? 1, 2, 5, 6 in the championship standings, without a podium to his name as yet.
Yep, hasn't looked at his best this weekend. We're looking again on that rundown.
Well, Helmi is dealing pretty well with the pressure at this stage from Apiwat. 1 and 2 go through. 3 and 4. Kiatisak tries to put the pressure on Azroy. Instead, Veda Ega. Everybody gingerly takes a narrow line around turn 15 as we come through. We are now at the halfway stage. There is P3, Azroy versus Kiatisak, and Veda Ega just behind them.
Yeah, this is really good from Kiatisak and Veda, staying with Azroy, who is superb around Sepang.
Are they closing the gap? The answer is no. The gap between 1 and 2 is 2.6 seconds. So that group there's Apiwat putting some of the pressure on. It does seem like Azroy Hakim is trying to get away from the rest but can't. And there's the next little battle. McKinley Kalpaz, Reza and Kengo Nagao. Nugroho in the black and Sharjun Tong. Adnan Putra is back on the circuit, as is Tanat. They're both back out there, I'm glad to say.
Yep, Helmi can see and hear the Yamaha. The other thing that Applewhite is doing, of course, is he's gathering data, seeing where Helmi is, where he's strong, where he's not so strong, where on the last lap he can potentially take P1 away from him.
Azroy, third in the championship standings. 2 DNFs in Buriram. Got his season off to a dreadful start. Then a win in Zhuhai, followed by the rain. It's been stop-start for Azroy Hakim, but he has got 2 wins. But you can't have DNFs and expect to win a 12-race championship.
Yep, unfortunately that's true, and this isn't the first year that he suffered from bad luck. Back in 2022, he missed the first 2 races at Buriram with COVID.
Indeed.
Failed the test, and watched the races from quarantine.
Yes. Fraught days. We try to forget them. Battle for P3. Looking quite serene, it must be said, though Veda Aga has got himself beyond Kiatisak. That's the change there, the younger Indonesian. Bike number 54, he's now the man putting pressure on Azroy Hakim Anwar. And the young Thai moves into P5. In fact, Veda Aga is looking for P3 and indeed goes into P3. Maybe he's decided to make a move with 4 laps to go.
This is impressive from the young Indonesian.
It's mighty impressive. 1 and 2 go through. Veda Aga.
Really wide there. But he held it.
Astra Honda in P3. Azroy won't like that, and suddenly Azroy's under pressure from Kiatis athletes, and the likes of Veda Aga thrive in this company.
I think Veda's just got a scent of potentially his first Supersport 600 podium. And
that scent disappears.
And now all he's doing is smelling the exhaust of Azroy Hakim Anwar. Kiatisak watches behind, still very much in touch with the 2 riders ahead of him, but sitting there in P5. Long gap behind him, 4 seconds. Back to Reza, Kinley Karpaz and Kengo Nagao.
We'll focus on P3 at the moment. Azroy had a lap in P4, has got himself back into P3. He certainly wants a podium, but they're 4 seconds plus down on these front 2. Helmi Asman not really shown any kind of fatigue or hasn't made any mistakes. This is the second group between P2 and P3, 4 seconds plus. You can see it's gone up from 1.3 to 2 to 2.6 now to 4 seconds. So the front 2 are lapping very quickly. The front 2 are lapping 2:10, mid 2:10s. The second group are lapping, what, mid 12s, mid 2:12s.
Yeah, this is steady from the front, but Helmi is doing a deceptively good job.
We're back on P3 here, and Veda Aga has reclaimed P3 from Azroy Hakim Anwar. That's a good little scrap. Kiatisak has just been able to watch what goes on in front of them. Veda Aga made a move a couple of laps ago to go into P4, then he took P3, dropped back to 4, and now he's back in P3 again. Good little scrap between these 2.
Yeah, the different lines again that you can see. Veda looking confident in the lines that he's choosing on the 600. Azroy with all the experience. Veda fancies it, but he's going to have to do really well to outfox Azroy when it comes to the final lap, if indeed the positions are still the same at that point.
The gap is now up to 5.6 seconds. In a couple of laps, or in a lap or so, we'll refocus on the battle for P1, but Azroy, that was close to contact. He just slammed on the brakes. Veda Aga, even at that young age, was not going to give way to Azroy Hakim Anwar then. He had the racing line.
So Azroy knows he's going to have to make a really clean, decisive move to get that podium position.
It's still the battle for P3. Behind them, Reza Danica is winning the battle for P6. Wayne Nugroho winning the battle for P9.
Yeah, as Roy goes ahead again.
It really is a good battle for P3. It is a podium it's worthwhile having. While ahead of them, just going into turn 15. It'll be 2 laps to go at the end of this lap. And look at that, Kiatisak. He's decided now then, now's the time to make the move. Azroy Hakim Anwar. Well, he's being battled on from both sides. The Indonesian, the Thai and the Malaysian. They all went into a 2-lap.
That was a beautiful line taken by Kiatisak through that very tricky turn 15. And he holds it going into the equally tricky turn 1. Or does he? No, he gets out of shape, goes wide, shuffle back to 5th.
And that's a big mistake.
Got to do it all again, and there are less than 2 laps remaining.
The good news, he was quickly onto the gas and hasn't lost too much time. But it will have affected his confidence a little bit. Now then, back to the race leaders. We've ignored them for a little while because
that gap a little bit now.
It's got up to half a second at the end of the previous lap. But Apiwat had a faster sector 2 time. Was able to pull it back in. But I see what you mean. It does look like Helmi is trying to just apply a little bit of his own pressure from the front. Accelerate away. Can Apiwat respond?
Yeah, it's really good response from Helmi to all that pressure. He constantly was having to look at the front wheel of the R6 of Apiwat. Now he's just got himself a bit out of range. And Apiwat, looking at this, he will have a championship lead if it finishes like this of more than 20 points going into his home race, the final race of the season at Buriram.
Pit boards are out for the Yamaha. Now for everybody. Back into P3. Let's refocus on this. And Azroy has regained that from Kiatisak. Kiatisak once again takes that nice tight line into turn 15 and holds off Vader Ager on that occasion. But Helmi Asman will go into the final lap with the lead, and a lead of 0.6 of a second. Behind them, Azroy Hakim leads from Kiatisak and Vader Ager. 8 seconds between P2 and P3, and then Kiatisak and Vader Ager take advantage of Azroy going wide, and Azroy can't switch back on this occasion.
You thought then that Kiatisak had gone just a bit too wide. It's a kind of a V-shaped line they take through it.
2 races to focus on there. Sorry for cutting you off, Barry.
No, just in sector 2, Apiwat seems to get closer every time around, but it does look as though Helmi has got this under control.
So this is the battle for P2. Kiatisak looking for back-to-back podiums, which would be a real feather in the cap coming to Malaysia. And if he could beat Azroy Hakim Anwar in his own backyard, same for Vader Ager for that matter, that would be a big story for them. Kiatisak, Thailand Honda, Honda Indonesia, and then Boonshu Honda Malaysia, 3, 4 and 5 respectively.
2 impressive scalps to take for the young Thai, Kiatisak.
Up at the front, we're keeping a close eye on whether Apiwat is able to make a move on Helmi Asman. The answer is not at this moment. They're going through turn 10 and 11. Big lead, 8 seconds ahead of this group. Azroy Hakim Anwar, 3rd in the championship standings, could well lose a top 3 place to Helmi. And here is Helmi Asman as they come down the penultimate straight, and I think he's got enough there, Barry Russell.
Yeah, he has. Apiwat is not within striking distance. He can only hope for Helmi getting out of shape, but he hasn't done it for the previous 10 laps, so he's not going to do it this time.
Helmi Asman comes through. He's been able to withstand the pressure. A little look over the shoulder. Helmi Asman wins race 1 at Sepang. Apiwat Wangtananon increases lead. Kiatisak will get back-to-back podiums for P3 ahead of Azroy Hakim Anwar and Vader Ager Pratama. But that's a terrific win for Helmi Asman and an excellent podium for Kiatisak.
Massive props to Helmi Asman for winning that race from the front under the pressure from the championship leader, Apiwat. He closes the difference between them, but that was a masterful display by the Idemitsu Boonshu Honda rider, Helmi Asman. Massive congratulations to him. Apiwat, I don't think he could have won. I don't think he quite had the pace. He recognised it. He realised that he's got an advantage. I think all five of those riders did really well. Azroy perhaps the underperformer there.
Yes, particularly as he looked so comfortable in P3 for so long. But Helmi Asman, has he now elevated to King of Sepang? Has he gone up in the Royal Rankings? Or Sultan of Sepang?
I think he might have to take the speculated place in Superbikes to get that.
Helmi Asman, 10 laps of the track, 7/10 clear of Apiwat Wangtananon, did really well. Idemitsu Bunchu Honda ahead of Yamaha Techni Racing. Hyatisak Singapong for Honda Racing Thailand in P3 ahead of Azroy Hakim Anwar from Idemitsu Bunchu Honda. Veda Ega Pratama, Astra Honda Racing. Just 2/10 separating 3 from 5. McKinley Kalpaz getting the better of Reza Danica Arons, 2/10 clear of him. Yamaha Techni over Astra Honda Racing, and Kengo Nagao a further second down, or 0.8 of a second down from Reza Danica in P8 for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. So they're the top 8. Wayne Nugroho, Yamaha Racing Indonesia, will be hoping just get more and more laps under his belt. 29 seconds adrift in P9. Ahead of Shah Juntong though for Victor Racing Team, who again is as competitive as he can be. Adnan Tupucha did not finish, was 2 laps down, and Tanat Longcleo, he is okay, but it did look to be in certain amounts of discomfort after coming off on lap number 2.
Yep, best wishes for the return of Tanat. We hear he's okay, but he might be feeling a little bit bruised and a little bit stiff tomorrow.
A word of Kiatisak, this young fella, it's amazing what a podium can do for your confidence, because here he had the confidence to take on Azroy Hakim Anwar in his own backyard.
That is the measure, isn't it? Because Azroy is such a class act. But he didn't have it. Didn't have it today. The Thai rider took it. Just coming into Park Fermé, as we congratulations for Helmi. Beg your pardon, for Kiatisak. Helmi's still enjoying his slowdown lap.
He was enjoying it. You're not elevating him to the Sultan, huh? Not yet. Maybe back to that.
I need to do some background work on the hierarchy of Malaysian royalty. I find it very confusing.
So Helmi Asman takes a bow like a prince would, takes the applause, and takes his first victory of the season, remarkably. I had to double check that that was correct. But for Helmi Asman, this is indeed after 2 P2s and a P3. He has got himself a first victory of the season. But he did it really, really well, because you know Apiwat can really pressurize you. And Helmi didn't look to be under any stress whatsoever.
He literally didn't put a wheel out of line. It was brilliant, brilliant work. And did he get the fastest lap? No. Kiatisak recorded the fastest lap.
Kiatisak came from late. It's good news for Apiwat Wangtananon though, because he will increase his lead at the top.
Smudgy little kiss for the camera there from Helmi Asman.
Best of the highlights of the AP 250, 10 laps of the circuit at Petronas Sepang International Circuit. And Apiwat Wangtananon getting off to a very good start. He was on pole position. We thought that he would do well. You did have a sneaking feeling that this might not be his day and that he might struggle against Helmi and Azroy Hakim Anwar, and you were proved right, Barry Russell.
Just for once, it happens about once every blue moon. So, but Apiwat, it was a good race for him anyway. He did get away in the lead. Azroy and Helmi got ahead of him, but he made a nuisance of himself through most of, just saw going down there, that was
Tanat, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Tanat.
That's what worried us there, because Tanat, he clearly looked like he's got a stomach injury, but we were assured that he's okay. We'll double check on that. And then Adnan Tupucha, he was the architect of his own downfall.
Yeah, and more good news for Apiwat's championship tilt.
Behind them, this is the battle for P3. Azroy Hakim Anwar looked to be comfortable at midway. But then Kiatisak decided he wanted to play, and Kiatisak and Veda Ega Pratama, 54 Veda Ega, 85 Kiatisak, they decided they wanted to attack Azroy Hakim Amwa, and successfully they did so as well. 2 laps to go, and Helmi, well, I think we were waiting for the Apiwat charge, and it never came.
Yeah, if he could have stayed there, then he'd have made a lunge on the final lap, but it wasn't there, and he knew he didn't need to take the risk. He is, after all, on the recovery from injury cycle at the moment, but this was a really interesting battle behind. At this point, you think the experience of Azroy is going to do it, but Kiatisak looked good. Veda looked confident too.
And on to the final corner. It was all done and dusted by then. Helmi just had to make sure he had a nice clear line, had to look back. He makes sure he's got P1. First win of the season for him. Apiwat Wong Tananom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth podium of the season. Behind them, Kiatisak takes back-to-back podiums for P3. But Helmi Asman, he's very happy with his day's work. Congratulations to him from Kengo Nagao. There is your winner. And onto the podium we will go. A 3-2-1. And tell you what, this boy, Kiatisak Singapong for Honda Racing Thailand, his confidence was obvious for all to see. He was happy to track and then make the attack into take P3.
Yeah, an unusual move as well for a team like Honda Racing Thailand to put 2 rookies into a class like this. There's Apiwat.
Apiwat there, and their biggest cheer of the day. Sizable little crowd over on the grandstand opposite the podium. And Helmi Azman, Mohamed Helmi Azman from Malaysia, well, the Idemitsu Bunchu Honda team takes first place.
This will be the first playing of the Malaysian national anthem today.
Very proud, Helmi Asman. Puts the mop of curls under the Dunlop hat and proudly wears the Malaysia flag. Mr. Tomohiro Yamashita, Deputy Managing Director of Idemitsu Lube Asia Pacific, hands out the winners' prizes. In third place, again, I'm so impressed with Kiatisak Singapong. I know I'd seen him on the Thai circuit, the brick circuit, as a real young lad not long ago. And now he's developing into a very capable racer. Apiwat we know is a capable racer, and Helmi Asman milks the applause for his first win, remarkably, of this season.
Yeah, remarkable indeed, but very well deserved. That was one of the performances of the day so far.
Defamaki Karapie hands out the Best Team Award to Idemitsu Bunchu Honda Racing Team of Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a
big
round of applause for the Supersport 600 Race 1 winners.
They get themselves involved as well, doing the organising. And there is the photo that will adorn, I'm sure, Kiatisak's mantelpiece for a little while until he gets some wins under his belt.
Absolutely, and his Instagram, no doubt.
Yes.
That's the modern version of a mantelpiece, Des.
Indeed. My apologies, everybody. There is an age factor coming in here.
in their own ways. Great performances from all three of those riders.
First Malaysia win of the afternoon, and in the championship standings, look at that, 28 points. Adinanto Putra did not finish, will not pick up the 4 points that he might have done if he got back on his bike. So the gap is 28 points with 3 races to go. Apiwat for Yamaha Techni Racing from Adinanto Putra. Helmi Asman moves up to within striking distance of Adinanto Putra. Azroy Hakim Anwar drops down from P3 to P4. Kiatisuk moves into championship contention, or certainly a top 3 contention. Reza Danica 77 points. Veda Aga 73 points. Good race from him today to finish P5. Kengo Nagao on P6 for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. We've got to get some post-race reactions still from Helmi Asman. And indeed, let's go down to Daniel Bogas to get some post-race thoughts of that victory for Helmi Asman in the Supersport 600 event.
Honda Racing Thailand have been putting in so much work, so big congratulations, Kiatisuk, on a fantastic podium. How was the race for you?
ก็เป็นเรสที่ยากมากครับสำหรับวันนี้ก็พยายามไฟติ้งขึ้นมาให้อยู่ภายในคันที่3คันที่4ให้ได้ครับเพื่อที่รอบท้ายๆจะได้ทำเกมให้ง่ายๆครับสำหรับวันนี้ก็ขอบคุณทีมครับขอบคุณทุกคนในทีมแล้วก็พรุ่งนี้จะทำให้ดีกว่าเดิมครับขอบคุณครับ Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kiatisuk. Big congratulations to you. And in second place, still the championship leader, Apiwat Wongtananon. Apiwat, was a brilliant race from your brilliant podium, but Helmi was a tough one to catch today, the Prince of Sepang. How was the race for you?
Yeah, for sure. Helmi is very fast. Yeah, and in the first start, I pushed to the maximum, and I focused on the concentrate to the less pace. Yeah, the Helmi overtake me is I think is Helmi very fast, and I can follow him. But yeah, in the sector T, I lose the time, and many laps. Yeah, I try to follow, I try to and make a little bit the bike in the mapping. Yeah, but yeah, and until it's position 2, yeah, not so bad, but yeah, it points up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Apiwat. Congratulations to you, Helmi Asman, on home soil in front of a home crowd. A victory for you. You controlled that race when you were in the lead and held on all the way till the end. How was it?
Yes, firstly I want to many thanks, a big thanks to my team, Bushu Honda Racing team, make the good job for the weekend. Yes, not this weekend on the last race also a good job. So yes, this race I know I can do more better, and I already MSBK right, and I know the pace is maximum is like 10.5, 10.4, so I try to control it. And yeah, I know Apiwat in behind, so I try always keep pushing. So I see the lap boy, the gap is. I can go to pull out the gap. So yes, finally I get the P1 for the season. I am ready to say thank you to my family. Thank you to also my friend and all the always supporting me, and also the sponsor. So this win for you.
Thank you so much, Helmi. Big congratulations.
A kiss to the camera before and a thumbs up to the camera after the interview, and a first P1 of the season in the Supersport 600cc. That's for Helmi Asman. Okay, we are all getting ready for the Superbikes, the 1000cc's. The crowds are turning up at Sepang. The riders are just about ready for action. We're going to go for a quick break. After the break, we are coming back for the 1000cc Superbikes. You're watching the Asia Road Racing Championships from the Petronas Sepang International Circuit.
Idemitsu IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with super bike-proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra-protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. Idemitsu IRG5.
It's got off to a brilliant start, and it'll be Yuki Kuni. Andy Farid has put in the fastest time so far, a 1:36.0. Hafiz dropping back to P4 is good news for Andy Farid. If Andy Farid can pick up the win, he'll want Hafiz to suffer as many points deductions as he possibly can. And Lachlan Epps is looking through on the inside, and Lachlan through to P4.
Yeah,
We're going to keep an eye on this, and a new race leader.
Oh, looking for the home win. There's contact there between the shoulder of Andy Farid and the front fairing of Yuki Kuni. Yuki trying to come back.
Andy Farid's got away. Andy Farid's a second clear. The back markers are really making this complicated. Okay, the win goes to Andy Farid Izdihar. He takes the checkered flag in P1. Yuki Kuni into Lachlan Epps, and a sensational P3. And we are underway, and it's a good start from Yuki Kuni. Boom.
But he's got a fight on his hands. Hafiz is starting to make his move now.
Gosh, that's impressive from Hafiz. Bastards through Sector 1, 26.9. Amongst the championship leaders, as Yuki Kuni makes a mistake and goes into P3. But the racing is going on now. Soichiro Minamoto and Hafiz is chasing hard. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah. Oh, the back marker's got to be careful.
Yeah, there is Eric.
And he's really caused a problem for Hafiz Sharin, and that decides it. Hafiz shakes his head. Soichiro Minamoto.
Yeah.
Oh, Hafiz has had his lap destroyed. Soichiro Minamoto takes the victory ahead of Hafiz Sharin, who looks back unhappily. Behind him, Andy Farid Izdihar. Yeah, that was the action from Mandalika. And this is the support for Hafiz Sharin, who was so unlucky to be denied on the last lap a chance to take on Soichiro Minamoto for a final sprint for home at Mandalika. But a P2 there means that he's P2 in the overall championship standings. And he's got the boys of Straits. They are the Johorians who've come up from the south to try to support him. This is very much a home race for Hafiz Sharin of the JDT team on the Ducati Panigale. But it's not all about Hafiz. It's all about what else goes on, and it's all about how they negotiate around this rather challenging circuit, Barry Russell.
Yeah, most of these riders have got plenty of experience, no less than Hafiz Sharin. But these 10 right turns, 5 left turns, 5.5 kilometers, it's the longest, in many ways most challenging circuit on the calendar.
Okay, let's get some thoughts on the grid ahead of today's race, and we go down to the hard-working Daniel Bogus.
It's Premier Class time, race 1, and behind me is the thunderous roar of the JDT fans out in numbers here supporting JDT Racing Team and Hafiz Sharin. They have the home support, and we're gonna have a chat with Hafiz Sharin while the drums are going really loud in the background. And the atmosphere here is absolutely amazing. And we're gonna have a chat with poleman Hafiz Sharin. We're just gonna squeeze through the crowd and grab a chat with Hafiz. So Hafiz, it's a home race, home crowd, pole position. Great start today. Great start to the day with pole for qualifying. How are you feeling for this race?
But I will do my best. I will fight for the podium and try to win in the home race. But I know that my contender is not easy, especially Kuni, that I know that every session they're very consistent. But anyway, we do our best, and it's our first race in home race. So yeah, I will do my best and try to be calm and try to do as much as possible. And I know I have everything in my hand. I just try to understand how to manage the bike and try to see where we are. And the condition is very good, very hot, and I hope we can fight until the end.
The championship battle is very much alive. Is that on your mind already, or are you just going race by race still?
No, I go race by race and try to be in front of my my leader championship. So it means Andy. So, and then the rest is we see where we are, because that is our target when we arrive here. So we will see. And then also thank you to the fans that come here, and also first time to see boy of street from football that all the way come from Johor to here to support us, and I will do my best.
Thank you so much, Hafiz. Good luck. The atmosphere is amazing. And now we're going to go across the front row. We're just going to squeeze again through the sea of people. And not on the grid right now is Sho Nishimura. We were about to have a chat with him, but Sho Nishimura is missing from this very spot, front row P3. We will get more information as we go along. So we're going to skip over to Andy Farid for now and grab a quick word with current championship leader, Andy. So he's just having a quick chat with this mechanic. So Andy, you're currently the championship leader, but the title battle is starting to get fierce. How are you feeling going into this race?
I just want to try my best, like always. I don't want too much thinking about the championship. I just want to give the best in this race and give the best for my team. Thank you.
Love to see it, Andy. Good luck for this race. So now, while we have a little bit of time, we're going to try and grab a quick word with Salhan from Dunlop, and he's right at the grandstand area. He's having a look at the boys of Straits, the JDT racing team fans. And we're going to grab a quick word with Sal. So, Sal, the weather, the conditions are completely different from yesterday, but the times this morning in qualifying were fantastic. How's the feedback been from the riders?
To be honest, yeah, I think race tyre-wise, they're lacking a little bit of grip because the track has come up 20 degrees compared to yesterday. So at this moment, we're about 55, 53 degrees, so it's really hot. Qualification tyres done exactly what they were supposed to, so we got extra grip from that. I think it's going to be a bit of tyre management for this race, but 100% of the field have gone with the medium rear, and the front runners all medium front. So it's going to be a good battle.
What are the tyre selections looking like for this race?
Yeah, like I said, 100% medium rears and medium fronts pretty much. So yeah, I think they're all on the same. It's going to be a good fight.
Thank you so much, Sal. Just a quick update. I just recalled one thing during qualifying earlier. The reason why Sho Nishimura might not be there is because he had an engine blow right at the end of qualifying. So maybe the bike isn't fixed yet. Nevertheless, from the grid down here, back to you, Des and Barry.
Thanks very much, Daniel. Yes, it was quite a session this morning, Barry Russell. There was real problems. Kazma Daniel also having a problem as well. He had a crash late on. He was trying to get a good lap time. You can see Sho Nishimura trying to get out on the circuit. There must have been some damage because his engine blew.
Yeah, and those BMW engines are not cheap to replace. So we're not sure what the situation is there. Hopefully we can get some more news. This rider has been really impressive yesterday and today all the way through, Yuki Kuni, and he was paid tribute to there, I thought, rather nicely on the grid by Hafiz, who noted his consistency, and that's it. He's metronomic in the way that he puts in those really fast lap times, so we know his race pace is going to be good on the SDG Hark Pro number 92.
He's also in good form as well. He's had 2 podiums in his last 3 races alongside Nuki Curry. We've got, where is he? Where's Chip? Chip is 3rd in the championship standings. Had problems at Mandalika, wasn't at his best. And then alongside them, Andy Farid, we've just seen too. So this is the 2nd row of the grid. Soichiro Minamoto, Kazma Daniel. So Kazma was looking really, really quick this morning. Was on a flying lap and came off for the on the Yamaha. Do you think that he will have recovered? The bike will have had a chance to recover?
Yeah, I do. We've seen a really resurgent Kazma throughout this weekend. He's looked really quick in every session. That was an unfortunate error that caused him to crash and not perhaps get as fast a time as he could have done in qualification, but I think we're going to see him coming through in today's race.
Sorry, yeah. Minamoto, the defending 600cc champion, won last time out at Mandalika. And we saw in previous races, you get on the podium, suddenly your confidence is sky high. Even though he's only 7th on the grid, he's a winner last time out.
Winner last time out. That was his first podium as well. Straight through to the win. None of this 3rd or 2nd step nonsense. Aslan Shah Kamaruzaman was looking pretty quick yesterday. He qualified 8th this time around. We know that he's going to hang up his leathers at the end of this season, which will be a tear-jerking moment for a lot of us, perhaps even him. But we hope that he's going to put on a good show this afternoon, because nobody does that better when he's on form than Aslan Shah Kamruzaman.
Yeah, and Zakwan Zaidi also as well. We mentioned that it's a Malaysian home Grand Prix. It's not only for Hafiz Sharin, it's a home Grand Prix for Zakwan and for Kazma Daniel and for Aslan Shah. They've all got a home pride that they are very much thinking of. But Zakwan, he struggled just a little bit on the Honda Asia Dream Racing with a Stamo bike. At 2:07, he's nearly 2 seconds off the pace set by Hafiz Sharin earlier on.
Yeah, and just 2/10 slower was the wild card. And great to see Ibrahim Noureddin back in the ARRC fold as a wild card for this race, running a Ducati Panigale. Probably in more stock trim, we suspect, than that being ridden by JDT mounted Hafiz Sharin.
So there still is a gap for P3 for Sho Nishimura. I'm wondering if he can start on the grid lane. We can't quite see from where we are as TKKR Racing.
Yeah, sorry Des, what I can see from the tyre sheet that's been given is that Sho Nishimura's place on the grid has been crossed out.
So no Sho Nishimura. No. That engine, hopefully they'll get it ready for tomorrow. And that just makes life just a little bit easier for Hafiz Sharin Abdullah. Andy Farid Izdihar leads the championship standings. He's in P5 in the qualification. Hafiz is 6 points adrift. So Sho Nishimura, we are told, is going to be racing, but starting from P15. Let's have a look at the grid. So this isn't quite accurate. It'll be an empty space in P3. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah, JDT Racing on the Ducati in P1. Yuki Kuni, very quick on the Honda for SDG Team Hark Pro. And absentee Sho Nishimura, certainly from P3 on the BMW.
And row 2 is led by Nakarina Tirapuvapat, the quickest of the Honda Asia Dream Racing with Astimo riders. Andy Farid is Dihar Championship leader next to him in P5. And Kazma Daniel starts from 6 with nobody in front of him.
That's true, yes, space there. Soichiro Minamoto, winner last time out for Yamaha Techne in P7. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, TKKR BMW Racing Team, his penultimate race before retirement. Zakwan Zaidi hoping to get some form going at his home Grand Prix.
And we welcome Ibrahim Noureddin on the FGRT project. Ducati Panigale V4R, he starts from P10. Next to him, replacement rider for Pasawit on the Astimo S1 Racing with Thai Honda. And next to him, Cheo Zhou for Sevitar ESG Team Asia.
Osama Mare for Victor Racing Team. He's based himself in Malaysia, but he represents Yemen. And alongside the A-Racer Speed Tech of Changche Ying, from Chinese Taipei. Alongside them will be Sho Nishimura on the BMW. And if they've been able to somehow fix that BMW, it'll be remarkable. If he's able to get anywhere near the front 6 or 7, it'll be incredible.
Yeah, scanning back through my memory of regulations, Des, it could be that they've changed the engine, and because he didn't qualify with that engine, they're making him start from the back.
Yes.
I bet that's it.
Okay. 92, Yuki Kuni. This is the rider, I think, that everybody, certainly in qualification and in practice, Yuki has looked well. Even Hafiz Sharin is very, very aware of the Japanese racer's abilities. As Yamaha look on, team of Kazma Daniel and Soichiro Minamoto.
Yeah, as we were saying, Kazma starting from P6, will not have Sho Nishimura in front of him. So given his form this weekend, I would expect a flying start from the Malaysian on the Yamaha Techne Racing Team Asia machine.
There was the number 12, just coming in right at the end. This is a 12-lap race. Kazma Daniel, let's see what kind of a start that he can get. Coming from P6. On the right-hand side of the screen, in the blue. Right, flags are gone. Race number 1 of the weekend. The Superbikes is up and running. Hafiz gets off to a good start. Yuki Kuni tries to track the Ducati, but the Ducati is able to power away. That's a good start from Hafiz Sharin. Inside line, though, for Yuki Kuni, and also coming through is Chip Nakarin. Hafiz under a lot of pressure to do well in this race. Has got off to a fine start.
Yeah, really good launch for Nakarin as well. from the second row. He's through to third.
And Aslan Shah Kamruzaman has got himself up into P4.
This could, looks like his last appearance at Sepang at this level.
Well, the BMW, he'll be looking to make it a memorable one for him. Minamoto's got himself through as well. Andy Farid is there, but Hafiz Sharin, fastest, put in a scintillating final lap late on in qualifying early this morning. When it looked like Cooney was going to be on pole, Hafiz Sharin suddenly put everything together, Barry.
It's going to be so interesting over race distance, because over 12 laps, we haven't seen Hafiz put in those long runs like Yuki Cooney has. And we know Yuki Cooney has been just within 1 or 2 tenths of a second on really fast lap times. Look who's coming up the inside now. Oh, taking a look, Aslan Shah.
Through turn 9, up the hill, Aslan Shah on that powerful BMW. Sho Nishimura has also made a couple of places, as well as Yuki Cooney goes on the inside. Yuki Cooney is the new race leader. Hafiz tries to catch him on the switchback, but Yuki Cooney just took advantage of a slightly wide and a wobble from Hafiz. Back and nearly goes. He does brilliantly to hold on to that.
Yeah, he held on to it. He lost 2 places. He's back in third now. He almost lost another place to Nakarin, who wanted to seize that. Nakarin looking really in the mood for a fight for the podium, but it's Yuki Cooney, Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, P1, P2. Hafiz said Yuki would be a threat.
Well, Hafiz has to just maybe settle down, manage those tyres. There he is in P3. You do feel he's put a lot of pressure on himself this weekend to talk about his home Grand Prix. So much expectation from the Ducati, but Aslan Shah, who's been a long-time rival of the Ducati racer, he's got himself up into P2, but it's Yuki Cooney, SDG Hark Pro on the Honda, who is leading the way. Behind them, Kazma Daniel has dropped down to P7. Andy Farid not making any real headway, he's in P5.
Yeah, 20-year-old Yuki Cooney, he's really matured this season. He's really established himself as a good superbike racer, winning races in the All Japan Championship, as well as ARRC. And by the way, we've had 7 races before this one and 6 different winners. So this is a really, really open championship.
Cooney, Aslan Shah has not been one of those wins. It'd be a big surprise if the BMW does go all the way from start to finish, particularly where he was in qualification. But don't count it out. Sho Nishimura just in the background there. He comes through. That's Zakon Zaidi, who's normally front and centre of any event at Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Today, he's one of the also-ran Zakon, which tells you about the quality of the field.
It does, absolutely. He's just eased himself past Kosuke Nakamoto.
Yuki, it's calmed down a little bit. Hafiz Sharin had that real scare around about here on the previous lap. His back end so nearly went away, but he was able to hold on to it. 23, Andy Farid. Right, Andy Farid's just eased his way ahead of Chip Nakarin. Andy Farid's been very understated this weekend so far. He's just been there or thereabouts, but he's the championship leader. He's the one I think that Hafiz has really got to worry about.
Yeah, he is, and he's right behind him now, and we know that Andy Farid gets stronger as the race wears on.
Yuki Cooney, a flying start through 2 laps. It's Yuki Cooney, a lead of 1 second from Aslan Shah, 1.2 seconds from Hafiz, who just tries to ease into P3. Behind them, Kazma Daniel starting to make an impression. He's got up to P6. Chip Nakarin from Thailand in front of him for Honda Thailand.
Really intriguing stuff. Got Aslan back in the mix, which is always good.
You want to go away with a flurry if this is indeed his last season. Hafiz Sharin into P3 and Andy Farid. We haven't spoken about Andy Farid. He's just been so cool, so calm. We haven't spoken about him at all for the Honda Asia Dream Team with Astemo. But there he is, nicely tucked into P4.
Yeah, while they're settling down a little bit, let's just give a shout and a get well soon to Lachlan Epis, who broke his collarbone, unfortunately, last weekend at Chang International.
So frustrating after his first historic P3 at Mandalika. Just when you feel like you're making progress, injury can come in, but that's bikes for you. Hafiz Sharin, having started off so well, he had that little wobble. He's now in P3, not making any headway at this stage on the front two.
Yeah, he went so well on qualifying tyres, now he's on mediums. And the setup, of course, is different, with less grip.
Behind them, Chip Nakarin has edged back in front of Andy Farid Izdahar. Andy Gilang, as they call him.
Yeah, this is good work from Chip Nakarin. He's really been enjoying himself this weekend. He really is a smiling assassin of a rider. Always got a smile on his face, except when he puts the helmet on.
Hafiz slides away, could be caught. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. That was evasive action from Andy Farid. He and Chip Nakarin did touch wheels, but neither came a cropper. So through lap 3, Yuki Kuni from Aslan Shah on the BMW, Hafiz Sharin, Chip Nakarin, Andy Farid, Kazma Daniel up into P6 on the Yamaha. Zakwan's got ahead of Sochiro for P7, and Sakamoto ahead of Sho Nishimura. Nishimura beginning to make some headway. Will try to pick up some points, Nishimura.
Yeah, impressive stuff from the front from Yuki Kuni. His best time to a 6.595 is a full half a second quicker than anybody else has managed around, and you can just see that he's edging out 2/10 each lap.
Aslan quickest through sector 2 though, 26.3, just 600ths quicker, so it's not significantly quicker, but Aslan at this stage is being able to hold on. And look at that, Hafiz has dropped the place. Chip Nakarin is up into P4 for Honda Asia Dream racing with the Stamo on the Honda, ahead of the Ducati.
Good work from Nakarin and Tirapuvapat. Got Andy Farid, championship leader, behind him now, Hafiz, so he's really got his hands full.
They're saying track conditions, the tyre manufacturers are saying track conditions are very hot down there, 54 degrees centigrade, which was a lot hotter than this morning when they did qualification on different tyres. And tyre degradation, tyre management could be key in this, so although we are a quarter of the way through the race, still plenty can change as Minamoto goes around. And there's Nishimura making up more ground. That's Sakamoto, I think he's just gone in front of.
Best lap for Sho Nishimura, 208.1. That's a pretty decent lap, but he is trying to make his way up through the field.
Andy Farid and Kazma Daniel are the latest to put pressure on Hafiz Sharin. Chip Nakarin goes through in P3, sorry. The BMW of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. He's nearly 2 seconds clear of that battle for P3. And they are racing, Nakarin and Hafiz and Andy Farid, they are racing. Zakwan's got himself up into P6 ahead of Kazma as well. So the more they race in that battle for P3, the better it is for Yuki Kuni up front.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And Zakwan's another rider with so much class, you'd expect him to come good. Aslan Shah's not giving up the chase at all, is he?
No, this is very good from Aslan Shah. He had a remarkable victory on race 1 of the season in Buram. Aslan Shah, we were cheering him home in a strictly neutral capacity, of course. But here he is, once again, showing age is no barrier. He's as fit as I remember him. So long as the BMW engine behaves, he can be competitive.
Yeah, he looks happy. We know a happy Aslan is a fast Aslan. He hasn't been consistent in free practice. He had a modest performance in qualifying, but we know there's a different animal when the lights go out for the race.
Hafiz, fastest in qualification. Got off to a blistering start, but has gone backwards since then. Had a little wobble. And not been able to make amends on that wobble. The lead for Yuki Kuni is quite significant. That's the battle for P4. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah for JDT Racing on the Ducati. They go out into the countryside. I tell you, Sepang looks a lovely venue from any angle, but it looks particularly good today, and the circuit is playing beautifully, and Yuki Kuni is having a whale of a time.
Yeah, still lapping in the mid 206s with metronomic consistency. I think this is turning out to be one of the strengths of Yuki Kuni. It's just his ability to ride on his own, hit the marks every time with such consistency.
Kuni goes through in first, 1.7 seconds clear of Aslan Shah, who himself is 1.8 seconds clear of Chip Nakarin. Hafiz in 4, Andy Farid in 5. You saw there Sho Nishimura is making a move there, but Yuki Kuni and Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, as we approach the halfway mark, they have been very, very impressive so far, but still a long, long way to go.
Let's see what tyre degradation does to the performance, particularly of Nakarin, who's been charging hard, and also Hafiz, because he's been working really hard to stay in touch. Zakwan's closing up on his teammate, championship leader Andy Farid Izdihar, Andy Gilang. His fans wait with bated breath to see if he can extend the lead in the championship.
It's a beautifully composed championship, isn't it? Chip Nakarin's not far behind either. 92 points, Yuki Kuni. The Yuki Kuni win here catapults him right back into contention. He's on 92 points. Championship leader Andy Farid is on 116.
So here's the surprise for me, Des, because we haven't mentioned him yet. It's Kazma Daniel since the start. Really expected him to have a strong showing. Maybe he'll come through as the tyre wear kicks in.
To be fair, he did crash in practice this morning. That will have had some deleterious effect on his bike. But you're quite right, he was looking super duper quick. There is Kazma, bike number 27. Yamaha Technic. Right behind him is his teammate Soichiro and Minamoto. Two very, very good racers. But
Yeah.
Yuki Kuni is making them all look very ordinary at the moment. This is sensational from Yuki Kuni. Kazma loses a place to Soichiro. Tries the switchback, but Soichiro Minamoto, he has the right line going through, and it's Soichiro, the Japanese, who goes through against his teammate Kazma Daniel. The Yamaha, the teammates in P7 and 8, Soichiro will want to get on the tail of Zakwan Zaidi. We are at exactly halfway through this race, and plenty of changes already. Plenty to talk about already, plenty more to come.
Yeah, and that Yamaha Technique garage, it has been advantage Soichiro Minamoto every time out during the season. And I thought that was going to switch. I thought that was going to flip this weekend at Sepang after Kazma setting the place alight yesterday.
And Kazma, now that Minamoto has gone past him, Kazma, 27, hasn't been able to make an impression. And he needs to be a little bit wary of Sho Nishimura putting in some decent lap times. Kazma, a 2:08.5 last time, 6/10 slower than Sho Nishimura. Nishimura comes in to view on the green BMW. And you don't want Kazma going backwards. Yuki Kuni, though, a 2:07. He's out of the 2:06s. Gosh, a 2:07.0.
So that probably is tyre wear at this point in the race.
Still lapping 2/10 quicker than Aslan Shah, 3/10 quicker than Chip Nakarin, 4/10 quicker than Hafiz Sharin. There is Aslan Shah in P2.
You could just see it right from the off. Free practice 1 yesterday. This consistency and speed of Yuki Kuni. Aslan Shah was keeping us guessing in free practice, but he's certainly shown up in good form this afternoon for race 1. Gap stretching out there. Hafiz not in a position to try to snatch back that place from Chip Nakarin, who's doing a really good job in P3.
Still 30-odd kilometers to go. There's still plenty can happen in that time. Chip Nakarin holds on to P3. Chip Nakarin third in the championship standings as well. Andy Farid currently in P5. Tell you what, if it finishes like this, it really sets up a very, very tense last 3 races of the season. We've got one more here at Sepang tomorrow, then we move to Buram, the Chang International Circuit.
Well, here we are, the shout for Yuki Kuni. Daniel's just popped in, he's been monitoring the lap time. 206.5, 206.6, 206.6, 206.9, 207, 207.1.
So that is pure tire degradation. Yeah, consistency, you can't beat it. Andy Farrell is the heart. He's trying to. It's a little bit processional at the moment. Hafiz has just got to hold on though.
Yeah, I was anticipating more of a fight here because the lap times were really close yesterday. They were close in qualifying, particularly between Yuki and Hafiz. But Aslan Shah is putting in a class act, and I do think with 4 and whatever laps we have to go. Oh, and there is Kosuke Sakamoto down. Replacement rider for Pasowit on that Astemo S1 Racing with Thai Honda.
Holding his wrist a little bit gingerly. Kosuke Sakamoto. He was running in 10th place at the moment. Ibrahim Noradin on the Ducati has not been able to make a huge impression either. Replacement rider, or the wild card on bike number 66. Great to have him back. There's Nishimura, who, having qualified in P3, his engine blew, so that's why he had to start from the back. He's got himself up nicely into P9 at the moment.
I think we can see some pressure coming now from, 2 bikes down. One of them is
Chang Chi-Ying. Chang Chi-Ying is one of them. I'm assuming that's a back marker. The second one,
yeah,
not quite sure.
Can't make out through the haze which one that is. But that is Chang Chi-Ying, the experimental project bike being run by A-Racer Speed Tech.
Okay, back onto the racing line itself. Hafiz in P5. Yuki Kuni is leading by 2 seconds.
So there goes Chang Chi-Ying.
So it wasn't coming off together.
Yeah.
Already there.
Yeah, before Chang Chi-Ying interrupted me, what I was going to say is that I think the pressure is coming now. It's been brought by Andy Farid-Istihar and by Zakwan Zaidi in the later stages of this race. It looks as though Andy's the one who's really getting the hammer down now. Let's see if he can do anything to close the gap on the rider in front of him, who is none other than Hafiz Shirin. At the front, there is Yuki Kuni.
2.5 seconds clear of Aslan Shah. Aslan Shah's been incredibly consistent as well.
Definitely has, yeah.
He's regularly in the 207s. And look at this, Kazma Daniel in a little battle with his teammate. Kazma won't want Minamoto to beat him on home soil.
I can just see, talking about those lap times, that it's just 1.1 of a second every lap, just a little bit slower for Yuki now.
And that's pure tyre degradation. Aslan Shah takes a nice wide line. Hafiz Sharin in P4. Is he going to push it? Is he going to feel that he must get a podium? If he does, that could be a problem.
I think he's going to know exactly what that Ducati Panigale is capable of. It's going to have and look, pressure coming from Andy.
Andy Gillang, I tell you, he's just really managed his tyres, Andy, and you've said, and we've seen so often this season, he comes good towards the end of races. He incrementally gets better. His last lap time at 2:07.2 was 0.3 faster than Hafiz Sharin's lap time. That is a concern for Hafiz and Ducati and the JDT team.
Yeah, so Ducati in a Honda sandwich there. Chip Makarin in front and Andy Farid behind.
Truly is Asia. Japan leading, Malaysia second, Thailand third, Malaysia, Johor in fourth, and Thailand, Indonesia in P5. Great stuff.
I think it is Indonesia in P5 that we need to keep an eye on now. Hafiz isn't going to be an easy rider to pass, but we've seen Andy Farid do it before in brutal fashion on Hafiz.
Fine. Ooh, goes wide.
There he
Hafiz has gone wide. And Andy Farid has been allowed through by Hafiz Sharin. And you're wondering about that wobble earlier on, whether it took away some of the grip. And Hafiz is just trying to manage the grip on his back wheel.
Well, you make a small error with somebody of the class of Andy Farid behind you, you're going to get punished. And now Hafiz Sharin is shuffled back to P5.
It looked so impressive this morning during qualification. Everything looked set for a JDT Ducati triumphant victory. But once you get onto race conditions, gosh, it's got very different. Yuki Kuni has been incredibly consistent. 207.2, that incremental 1/10 goes. Same for Aslan Shah.
Yeah, he wants that place back. Hafiz is coming up the inside of Andy, under braking to turn 15. Andy switching to the inside, but it's clean lines through the corner by both of them. It's not done yet.
Brilliant work from Hafiz Sharin. He retakes P4. That's going to be a great battle, though. They are 1 and 2 in the championship standings. So Hafiz will just want to close that gap a little bit. Yes, there's 3 races. Yes, there's 75 points available. But in the quality of field, you can expect maybe a Yuki Kuni to pick up a couple of wins. Aslan Shah has been the real spoiler in this one. An unexpected spoiler on his last appearance, on his last weekend on the ARRC.
Unexpected and welcome spoiler. Andy Farid's going to try and spoil Hafiz's afternoon as well. They are number 2 and number 1 in the standings as things are right now.
2 laps to go. Yuki Kuni has led almost from the very, very first corner. Hafiz holds on, can't afford to make another mistake. Here is Yuki Kuni. 2 is Aslan Shah in splendid isolation. He's got a good 2 seconds on Chip Nakarim. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah for JDT on the Ducati ahead of Andy Farid.
Yeah, it's this battle for P4 that is the one to watch now. P4 doesn't sound very exciting, but we have the top 2 in the championship fighting for that position. Just 6 points between them. Advantage Andy.
Yuki Kuni, though, if he picks up 25 points, as looks likely here, he catapults himself in towards the reckoning. He'd be within 10 or 15 points of the front 2, and unless something's very unfortunate happens to either Yuki or Aslan or Chip Nakarin, they are going to be 1, 2 and 3 respectively. Coming through. 1, 2 and 3 go through the start-finish line. Kuni, Aslan, Nakarin, Hafiz, Andy Farid. That's 4 and 5. Zakwan a good 6, Soichiro 7, Kazma Daniel on the Yamaha 8, Sho Nishimura is closing in on 9. Oh, this is nice and tense for P4, Barry Russell. I'm enjoying this.
It really is, yeah. His 6-point disadvantage, he will close that gap if these positions stay the same. Andy Farid has got no intention of letting that happen. I think he's going to try and send it at some point.
Yeah, I suspect Andy Farid is because he's closing in there, isn't he? He's having a little look.
Not quite in range at the moment, but going to have a plan. The Indonesian championship leader.
Yuki Kuni meanwhile is looking very, very good for his 2nd win in 4 races and his 3rd podium in 4. Catapult himself right into championship reckoning.
And Hafiz Sharin certainly knows who's behind him.
This is fascinating stuff. 2 experienced racers on good machines. What's the tyre wear like as he's gone through on the inside? Hafiz is forced to stand up. Hafiz has lost P5. That is brilliantly done from Andy Farid.
We've seen him do it before on Hafiz. He's done it again. Now we're going to come to the crucial part.
Hafiz might have the power on the Ducati. The switch back from Andy Farid. This is a sprint for home. Up at the other end, the race is going to be won by Yuki Kuni. The Japanese will come through. Aslan Shah is going to pick up a brilliant P2. This is the battle for P4. The win goes to Yuki Kuni. He's in championship contention. Fabulous from Aslan Shah. P3, Chip Nakarin. P4, Andy Farid ahead of Hafiz Sharin Abdullah, Zakwan Sachiro and Kazma Daniel. But Yuki Kuni is the race winner. And so many narratives to come from this race, Barry Russell.
That SDG team, they know what a brilliant job's been done by them and by their rider. The consistency, just phenomenal.
Andy Farid pinching P4 and 13 points from Hafiz. It'll increase his lead to 6 points up at the top, but they're only 12 clear. He's only 12 clear of our winner today, Yuki Kuni. Yuki is right in this championship charge.
And so good to see some of the pomp of Aslan Shah on that BMW, who really made second place his own. Nobody was going to get close to the pace and consistency of Yuki Kuni. That was such a classy ride by the 20-year-old Japanese rider. He knows what he's just achieved. Well, he's achieved a convincing race win and the tilt at the title.
Certainly has 75 points up for grabs. Yuki Kuni, with the kind of form he showed today, he must be confident going into tomorrow's second race, because his lap time, you used it several times, metronomic. He slowed down on the final lap at 2:08.1, but otherwise he was 2:06s and 2:07s right the way through.
Yeah. To say, Daniel was recording his lap times and they were just within a tenth of each other. With a little tail off at the end, but only by a tenth every lap.
Confirmation in this 12-lap race. A win by 3.1 seconds. That's convincing for Yuki Kuni for SDG Team Harkro Honda Philippines. Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, a P2 for the veteran on TKKR BMW Racing. 4 seconds clear of Chip Nakarin on the Honda for Honda Asia Dream Racing with a Stamo ahead of his teammate Andy Farid Izdahar. Andy Gilang just edging out by 1/10 of a second. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah for JDT Racing Team on the Ducati for P5. Zakwan Zaidi, that's a very creditable recovery for P6 for Honda Asia Dream Racing with a Stamo. Soichiro Minamoto winning the Yamaha Techni Derby against Kazma Daniel. The tie in the end, nearly 3 seconds clear of Kazma. Sho Nishimura, he put his engine woes behind him to pick up 6 points for P9. Sorry, 7 points for P9 on the BMW. Ibrahim Noradin, we didn't see an awful lot of him, but on the Ducati, it was always going to be difficult in this quality of racing. 30 seconds down, he will improve tomorrow. I have no doubts about that from Ibrahim. Osama Murray, good work from him. 113 down for the Victor Racing Yemenese racer. Choyu Joe, as always, doing his best, 10 seconds down on Osama for the Savitar team. Sakamoto did not finish. Chang Chi-ying for A-Racer Speed Tech, the Chinese Taipei racer, he didn't finish either.
Yeah, we saw that crash for Chang Chi-ying, unfortunate for him.
Well, plenty to talk about, plenty to analyse, but for this man, plenty to celebrate. For Yuki Kuni, he really is in great form, Barry Russell. 2 wins and a P2 in his last 4 races. That is championship form.
It is, and with the top 2 scoring lower points this time around in 4th and 5th, that really does give him a realistic shot at the championship. 3 races, 75 points remaining. A delighted SDG team greet their rider. Wonderful performance, and what a strong team they are. They've been winning in the All Japan Series as well as here, and he's really come into his own. He started the season with a whole string of P4s, then he got a win, and there's been no stopping him since then.
That's exactly how it has been for Yuki Kuni. Did not finish in Mategi. Gosh, we thought then that that would really derail any potential championship. We hadn't seen the best of him. You mentioned those 3 P3 finishers, P4 finishers. Then they did not finish, but since then, first, second, eighth, first. That is a fine run of form for Yuki Kuni. And also Aslan Shah, we've rather brushed over Aslan Shah a little bit, but let's go down and get some post-race reaction where Daniel, I believe, is speaking to the top three. Let's go down to Daniel Bogus.
Nakarin, it was a hard-fought podium. It was a proper battle down to the top three spot. How was that race for you today?
Yeah, it's very hard race because from FP until qualify, I never follow some rider, but just riding alone. When I in the group, I cannot break same point because my bike coming fast, slipstream. Then I mistake in the first lap, but yeah, it's good in the podium. I try more for tomorrow.
Can't wait to see Nakarin. Big congratulations to you.
I thank you to my fan and all sponsor and my family. Tomorrow I will try.
Thank you so much, Nakarin. We look forward to tomorrow. And in P2 for race 1 for the ASB 1000s is none other than local hero Aslan Shah Kamarazaman. So Aslan just putting some cold water over his head. Aslan, very hot. It was such a hard-fought race from you. There was not much of a battle for most of the race for you. You were sitting in second for quite a long time alone, but it was a fantastic pace from you. How was it out there?
Very difficult because I tried to keep the pace with Kuni, but it was very fast, and I tried to follow, and in the same time I tried to keep my tire for in the end of the race. It's difficult because I think I'm just alone. I'm not close with Yuki, so tire management and fighting with myself alone.
Thank you so much, Aslan. It was a beautiful race. Can't wait to see more tomorrow. And race winner for ASB 1000's race 1, none other than the dominant, consistent Yuki Kuni. So Yuki, it's another masterclass from you. Your consistency was unbelievable and you held it all the way until the end. How was that race for you?
Yeah, I'm very happy that the result because I won. So anyway, from yesterday I had a good feeling on the bike and also this track. And I have confidence on the pace. So back qualifying, I did quite well. But you know, Hafiz really he made a really good lap time. This is amazing. But anyway, on the race, I know that I'm strong. So just I was focused on myself, and finally I got this win. I'm really happy, and also the championship. I think coming better. So for tomorrow also, I will try continue.
Thank you, Yuki. We can't wait to see it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Race 1 of the Superbikes 1000cc at the Asia Road Racing Championships. Hafiz Sharin for JDT Racing on the Ducati Bike 55 on pole position, off to a very fast start. But going alongside him was Yuki Kuni, the Japanese, then taking the lead early on. And that seemed to spook Hafiz Sharin, who then lost a little bit. A mistake from Hafiz would come. That allowed Aslan Shah Kamarazaman into P2. And Yuki Kuni, once he got away, Barry Russell, was virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, Hafiz Sharin name-checked him on the grid as a major threat, and so it was. And as soon as he got his nose in front, he went away. But Aslan Shah, so good to see him coming through from row 2.
Aslan Shah got off to a flyer himself, and those two, Yuki and Aslan, were in a great battle for 1 and 2, so much so that we ignored them for long stretches of the race, certainly on the broadcast coverage. We had a little look at this battle between Kazma Daniel, 27, who you expected to do better, but in the end, only a P8 for Kazma.
Yeah, I really expected him to be up there with Aslan, Nakarin, and possibly Yuki Kuni.
And then came the real battle. Hafiz Sharin, we didn't think he would be able to get the better of Chip Nakarin for P3, but we didn't think he'd lose to Andy Farid in the battle for P4. They swapped positions several times. We're into the final lap now. Hafiz has the lead, but he'd go a little bit wide, and this would be the moment where Andy Farid's just slid through.
Yeah, it was a firm, clean move by Andy Farid to take that place away from him. can see him coming back, but he was having absolutely none of it as they got on to that long straight down to turn 15.
Yuki Kuni will go on and take the win by a full 3 seconds. Brilliant P2 for Aslan Shah on the BMW. And in that battle for P4, it was Andy Farid who held on ahead of Hafiz. So frustration for JDT, delight for SDG. And I tell you what, we have got a championship battle absolutely booming.
It was close when we arrived here, and now it's even more interesting with more people in it.
27 points separating 1 from 5. Any one of the top 5 genuinely, I think, has a chance of the title. Here is Chip Nakarin, who is one of those 5. A fourth podium of the season for Chip Nakarin. He hasn't had a win. Aslan Shah Kamrazaman, a 2nd podium for Aslan Shah on this, what could be his last weekend in the Asia Road Racing Championships at his home Sepang. And then, well, metronomic consistency from Yuki Kuni. The Japanese has catapulted himself into the title race. We'll analyse just a little bit more after the national anthem of Japan, which will also be celebrated by the team manager for SDG Hawk Pro. You know where you've got to go, sir. You know where you've got to go. And let's celebrate the Japanese national anthem. The haunting strains of Kimigo Ya, the Japanese national anthem. What a brilliant performance.
In 3rd place, from Thailand, Nakare
Kentaro Kobayashi. Sumitomo Rubber Industries Limited, Dunlop handing out the prizes. Chip Nakarin. Will he be happy with P3?
I think he's reasonably happy with it.
Big cheer for Aslan Shah. Big cheer.
Quite rightly.
From Japan, Yuki Kuni.
And Yuki Kuni, a slightly smaller cheer. He's not Malaysian, you see.
He's probably got fewer friends here, but yeah.
The team award will be handed out by Stefan Maki Karapie, FIM Asia President. And that is to SDG Team Hawk Pro. Two familiar smiles.
And now we'd like to invite Mr. Kentaro Kobayashi and Mr. Stefan
A little fist pump as well for the 3 on the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause.
And a good day's racing, a really good day's racing. Ends up with, I tell you what, this race is going to the final corner of the final race of the final lap of the season.
Yeah, remember 2022, Des.
Indeed, and 2014. There've been some brilliant endings to the Asia Road Racing Championship in the past, and I think we're going to get more. 3 more races to go. We are now through 3/4 of the season. 9 of 12 races have been completed, even though 1 was completely rained out in Zhuhai, so no points awarded there. But after 9 of 12 rounds, this is how the championship standings look. Andy Farid Izdihar, 8 points clear of Hafiz Sharin Abdullah from JDT Racing. Yuki Kumi, just 4 points down on 117. Chip Nakarin, just 9 points down on 108. Aslan Shah Kamrazaman, don't count him out. He's only 27 points down on the championship leader. Toshiro Minamoto is capable of winning races, 94 points for him. Zakwan Zadi out of the reckoning, but the former champion happy with 78 points. Lachlan Epis, injured absentee today and tomorrow on 67 points. And so our day comes to an end. Barry Russell, at the end of each day, I ask you for your highlights, quick highlights, your thoughts on the day.
I have a theme for the highlights this time, and that is the class of today's winners. Hiroki Ono re-established himself after a difficult weekend and losing in Mandalika. Fahmi Bassam, it takes class to win an Underbone race, and he's done it again. And Herjan Atner, that really was a classy ride from him, riding with the disadvantage of double rev cut. Helmi Asman withstood pressure from Apiwat, and just what we witnessed with Yuki Kuni and his consistency to take that superbike race and open up the championship. Wonderful day's racing.
From Barry Russell, myself, Des Corkland, Daniel Bogers and the team behind the scenes bringing you the coverage. As always, our pleasure to bring you the Asia Road Racing Championship. We're back with you same time tomorrow, 1 o'clock local time. But for now, we say farewell from the Petronas Sepang International Circuit.
Idemitsu IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with Superbike proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. Idemitsu IRG5.